You wanted the best. You've got the best. The hottest podcast right now on YouTube and on Facebook is the Around the Ropes podcast, which means it must be a Tuesday night. As always, I am joined with the best, one of the best damn fucking ring announcers in the entire Northeast. Also, if you're in the state of Pennsylvania and you need an ordained minister, he can help you with that as well. The one, the only, Sexy Ryan himself, Ryan Peterson. What's going on, man?
Let me talk to you. Let me talk to you. We are here for another rendition of the Around the Ropes podcast, a.k.a. Busted Open on Wish.com.
Depends on how you look at it.
Depends on how you look at it. It is this guy over here who thinks he's Dave LaGreca, but really he's not, John Blake. And his co-host, with basically everybody, including those from Creative Pro Wrestling New York, everybody saying, Sexy Ryan, yeah!
We got our first comment coming in from our friend Steve saying, hey, watch your mouth.
Oh, I'm watching it. You know what it's saying, Steve? Go fuck yourself.
Wow. But guys, we got a loaded show for you guys tonight at 8 o'clock. PJ Savage will hopefully be on. No, but all serious though, PJ Savage will be on with us at 8 o'clock talking about what happened in his match against Joey Conway this past Saturday at Win.
Talking about
what happened at the end of Titan with Great American Spirit, and also talking about what is going on at Titan next week as they head down to North Carolina. But before we get, and then also Kevin Nasta joins us as well. But Ryan, I do got one question I got to bring up to you.
What?
Do you see the rivalry going on right now with Greek Savage and Tantalizing Tony?
No.
Okay. Because
by the way, also, happy August 1st.
Yes, which I'm going to get to that in a second because there's a few things going on.
No, there's a reason why I'm saying happy August 1st.
Why?
All we're missing is Tito Ortiz.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh my God, MMA star Tito Ortiz. Oh.
But guys, like I said,
love you too, Steve.
Want to keep the comments coming? You definitely can. We have a lot to get to tonight. As mentioned before, PJ Savage at 8, Kevin Nash is on 9. But before we get into any of that, I think there's a pay-per-view happening on Saturday, I think.
Well, correction. It's not a pay-per-view. It's a premium live event.
And what we are going to do now is we are going to give our predictions.
Yes, it is. No, hold on. We have to say what it is. It's the SummerSlam.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, boy. Apparently, you pissed off Greek.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Well, at least he saw it, so thanks for reading that.
Knowing him, he probably would hit you at the back of the head with a chair.
Yes, he would. In his suit.
Yes. Very nice suit, by the way, to say the least.
Yes, very snazzy.
Yes. Apparently now we're talking about suits on the show.
Hey, Men's Warehouse, can you sponsor us?
Hey, I look this way. I got to wear a suit in a couple of weeks for an event up in Albany, and it's...
In a couple of weeks? You mean less than a month?
In a couple of weeks. Because we have a few...
Okay, hold on. John, hush your mouth, boy. For those that actually have working brain cells, when you hear the word a couple, that usually means a couple means 2.
Well, I'm sorry. From my neck of the woods, known as the bubble, I always look at a couple of like 4.
That's called a double date, asshole. And also, in your little bubble, people in your area still think it's 1989.
Okay, but again, I look at what's happened in the end of August in upstate New York in a couple of weeks. I look at what's happening.
Few.
Oh my freaking God! Again, I look at a few weeks as far as what we got coming up next week with Immortal. Actually, that's next week. What am I kidding?
Yeah, you said next week with Immortal. Oh my God! Was Hooked on Phonics your worst enemy?
Speaking about Hooked on Phonics, Savage has another comment to say.
Oh, God. Oh, wow.
Men's warehouse is for chumps. Men like you need a custom tailor from Europe like Greek Savage. Greek, if you can get that for me, I would love it, but they are an arm and a leg, and I'm cheap and me.
He doesn't have that much length to give.
I'm an improper fraction, okay? What do you want?
You know what I do want? I want to talk about SummerSlam.
Okay, Bully Ray. God, try to have some fun on the show, and also now we got to talk about wrestling. Also now we talk about wrestling. We can't have fun. We have to talk about wrestling.
I'm sorry, did you just have a stroke?
I don't know what the fuck I just did.
Or are you trying to pull up your inner PJ Savage? AKA trying to yell out your name. Blaine!
No, me would be Big Head. Let's call it what it is.
Big Head!
Let's get into the predictions, shall we?
Sure.
All right, first, where the hell did Ryan go?
I hate people who call me a fucking show.
I was about to say, did Greek Savage hack your internet?
No, he's too busy. He's too busy at war with tantalizing Tony.
First match we got here, as we are waiting for our guests to join us at the top of the hour, we'll open up with the big match everybody's talking about. Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. Ryan, who do you got?
Cody, next.
Yeah, I got Cody as well. I still think they're setting him up for Mania next year.
I think so too. Next.
Seth freaking Rollins versus Finn Balor.
I have a very strong feeling it will be Seth because somehow Damian Priest is going to fuck it up.
Well, I remember reading something about how they said the men is going to be a successful cash-in. Is it possible we could see Damian walk out of SummerSlam as your new World Heavyweight Champion?
But would they really push it for it now?
I think you've almost got to, because I think the problem's going to be you get towards Payback, whatever the Fastlane, and then eventually, eventually Survivor Series. There has been rumblings already that that Roman won't be there. So you got to see how that all plays out.
I still think it's gonna be fucking. It's still gonna be Seth Rollins and probably have him keep it until at least Survivor Series.
All right, we got some more comments coming in here. Mitch, what the hell are you talking about?
Oh, I know what he's referring to. Probably.
Okay.
Our lovely Mets, who's trading away the entire. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. The Mets right now, I just got to say this, okay? Because I'm getting really, really pissed off with what people are saying that, oh, we're not rebuilding. I'm sorry, okay? You get rid of fucking Verlander, you get rid of Scherzer, you get rid of fucking David Robertson, and, oh, we're not rebuilding. Give me a fucking break.
Let's get back to wrestling, please.
Why, so I don't have a stroke on air?
Not only that, this isn't a sports show. Well, technicality it is.
Shut up with the technicality crap. Shut up with the fucking technicality. I'll show you technicality.
I'm sorry. You probably you actually need a step ladder just to actually reach my level.
Hold on. I can't believe I'm actually about to do this.
What the fuck is going on right now?
Is it? Never mind.
Did you finally see the Office episode where they do parkour? Parkour.
Yeah, don't ever try that at home, folks.
What?
Don't ever try that at home, whatever the hell I just did.
We can't hear you.
Am I muted?
No, your mic just turned way down low.
Oh. Hold on. Ryan, keep talking.
Okay, so it's SummerSlam. We got Cody taking over Brock because we have a feeling on they're setting up for WrestleMania. Which, by the way, folks, if you're gonna be one of those people that's gonna buy their packages where one of them is $21,000 fucking dollars, you out of your goddamn mind. $21,000 to what? Sit in the first 2 rows, go to a buffet with the wrestlers and, all that other shit? No, I'm sorry. That's For $21,000, they should book me in the fucking ring. No, we can't hear you, John. How about you unmute yourself?
Now can you hear me?
God, this is what happens. And this guy's the fucking host?
Oh my God. Really?
This guy is the host? This guy right here. Well, that's what happens when, and see, this is why it's John Blaine and the team.
Oh, shut the hell up with the fucking team crap already. You're not the team. You're part of the damn show.
According to some people, I'm just the team.
Right. Wow, Mitch. Wow.
Ha! Thank you, Mitch. Thank you.
Oh, apparently my mic went up and then it went low. Oh, okay. Thank you, Steve. Did not know that.
Yep.
But yeah, so
Seth freaking Rollins. Okay, who do you got?
I'm gonna go on a limb here. I'm actually gonna say Damian Priest cashes in.
How much would I bet you see him cash in on Finn, though?
Yeah, I could see that. I could easily see that. But let's keep things going here because, like I said, we will be joined by our guest at the top of the hour.
Triple threat.
Huh?
Triple threat with Asuka.
Triple threat. Asuka, Charlotte, and Bianca. Yes.
Asuka.
Yeah, I can't see them putting the belt on Flair, and I think that we're going to see the full-blown heel turn here for Bianca. Roman versus Jey Uso.
Roman.
Yeah, I honestly
that's gonna be full on shenanigans.
Oh yeah. Ricochet, Logan Paul.
Oh, this one might be a tough one. From what I'm hearing, they might open up with that.
Oh, I think it's a very possible idea that they open up with it.
Yeah, so that way Logan Paul can hop in a private jet and go to Vegas and watch his brother lose and cry like a little whiny bitch that the Pauls are. I'm sorry, did I say that out loud?
I'm gonna go out on a limb here on this one.
Who do you got? Not Ricochet. Who do you got? Logan?
No, actually, I got Ricochet in this one.
Really?
I think this is the match that finally gets Ricochet to that next level.
No, it's not.
I think it gets him at least some relevancy.
Well, especially if we have Colostomy Gomez still running the show.
Oh, yeah, of course we do. Let's keep things going. Probably my match of the night. Bigger to me than Uso and Roman.
Oh, it's the SummerSlam Battle Royal, right?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'm talking about the IC title match.
Oh.
Would you like to do this one?
Oh, with fucking pleasure. So, folks, if you've been living under a rock for the last, few weeks or so, back at Money in the Bank in the UK, Gunther retained over Riddle, but who came out but a beefy Scotsman by the name of Drew McIntyre. And they're leading up to McIntyre versus Gunther. Now, Gunther is on a fucking roll right now with this IC title reign of his. I think he said it best himself on Raw last week that he actually brought relevancy back to the title, which is absolutely true.
I completely agree. I completely agree on that one.
It's absolutely true because the IC title really hasn't been utilized well in the last, I say, 4 years at least. And then you put it on someone like Gunther, who one is an actual real wrestler, and two knows how to put on bangers after banger after banger. You put him against anybody. Remember, it was him and Ricochet when he won the title originally.
Yeah.
And then fast forward to WrestleMania, it was him, Sheamus, and McIntyre in that god awesome triple threat match.
Now, I have a question to ask you. I'm just leaving it right there.
Anyway.
Let's keep things moving here.
Well, hold on. I didn't give my prediction.
Oh, yeah, neither did I. Okay.
Asshole. You know what? I'll let you go because I have a theory about this one.
It's Gunther. I think the WWE right now is in the position they want to get new names up there on the top of these lists. And I think with this one, you got the opportunity to put a fresh face on the top of a list that hasn't seen a fresh face in almost 40-something years.
So I have Gunther winning, but with two other scenarios that are going to be taking place. Because remember with Imperium, they've been teasing Giovanni Vinci.
Yes.
Not showing his loyalty. Right?
Yeah, they have been showing that quite a bit.
How would you want to bet that he actually shows his loyalty? And also, could this be the breaking point for Drew McIntyre to finally turn heel?
That's been brought up a lot lately, and a lot of people have had the theory that he needs to have the right partner to do that.
I think Gunther would be perfect for it.
Yes, what I'm just curious to see is when you look at could Gunther be the one, or there was one theory brought up about one person who could bring the heel side out of it.
Seth?
No.
Who?
Who was the one who introduced Drew the first time?
Vince?
Bingo.
Why?
I know it's not going to happen, but you can easily have Vince come out and say, "Oh, I picked you as the chosen one. You've been nothing more than a disappointment to me. I've given you opportunity after opportunity."
No, I got one even better.
Oh.
How about his fellow Irishman Sheamus?
Yeah, I could possibly see that.
Really start that up.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I could very easily see that. But let's finish up with these matches because we only got a couple more matches left to go. Actually, we only have one more match to go. What am I kidding? Folks, one thing I'm learning tonight is apparently a couple and a few are not the same thing.
I will say, though, for the SummerSlam Battle Royal, I'm picking LA Knight because if not, I'm going to be pissed.
They got to do something with him at this point.
Instead of him just showing up on TV screen and talking down to a bunch of jobbers called Hit Row.
Oh, no, you got to admit, that was actually a funny segment. Let's call it what it is.
Oh, no, it definitely was. Hell, I would love to see them give him the U.S. title.
There is one other thing I'm very curious to see because it's been rumbling for a while, and then we'll get to the last match in a second. Could we see a possible few major returns on Saturday?
I'm hearing a rumor about one.
Who are you hearing the rumor of?
Some sort of Viper.
I heard today that it was told by doctors he cannot wrestle anymore.
I'll believe it when I see it.
No, but I've been hearing another possible name.
Yeah, I have too, and I doubt it's going to happen.
And folks, the person I'm talking about is a certain Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Oh, I was thinking of somebody else.
I always say Dwayne for one reason.
The writer's strike.
Exactly. And him and Grayson
right now.
And him and Grayson Waller have been feuding over Twitter. I'm just saying.
I will say this: Grayson Waller has impressed me a lot.
Yes. Oh no, he definitely has. We got a few more comments coming in here. Let me go through them quickly. Mitch was also saying Orton. Another comment coming in here from the YouTube side of things saying LA Knight wins the Battle Royal. Yeah, get a lifetime supply of Slim Jims.
Next.
Mitch comments and says, "You boys see NXT on Sunday?" Mitch, we'll get to that later because I have a few things I got to say about Gable Stevenson and his match.
I don't even call it a match.
Which, like I said, so we got one more match to go through, and that is the MMA match between Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler.
MMA rules, and I'm all for it.
Who do you see winning?
Shayna.
Yeah, I would have to agree on that. Because to me, Ronda, nobody knows if she's going to stay with the company and past this event.
Exactly. And also, if Shayna wins, I have the perfect feud for her to try to go to.
Oh.
How about reigniting an old NXT feud?
Who?
Who's the current women's champion?
Oh, Rhea Ripley.
Because in NXT, Shayna was the champion and Rhea was the challenger. Now on the main roster, the roles reverse.
Yeah, I could. Yeah. Trying to think here. I also think they're doing something with Rhea and Raquel.
I don't know about that.
They were hinting at that for a while, and then all of a sudden they kind of stopped it.
Isn't Raquel hurt also?
I don't know with wrestling anymore, dude.
Yes.
And like I said, folks, we are just waiting right now for our guest to join us. So while we're waiting for him, Ryan, overall, how do you see this premium live event happening on?
I mean, as always, I kind of like the fact that there are like seven matches on the live events, not like 10, 11 bullshit shit.
Rhea and Raquel, the theory people feel it's going to happen eventually. Yeah, and I honestly, I'll say this right now, I hope it happens. I really do hope it happens because I think the fact that you have two powerhouse women, I think would be incredible. Brian, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, no, you didn't say anything. I was like,
I'm letting you talk.
Oh, okay. Yes. But while we wait for our guest, Brian, why don't we dive into a little bit about what happened on Saturday at Win, shall we? As since you were the ring announcer, I will let you run with that because I'm actually going to message her, I guess, and find out what the hell is going on.
Well, considering I almost attempted murder on the DJ on Saturday nights.
Yes, so I'll be back in a second.
Okay, so this past Saturday night at the Mecca in Richfield Park, New Jersey. For those that don't know, it's the Phil Sheridan Building, aka the Knights of Columbus. And wrestling is now returned with a massive tag team tournament to crown the inaugural Win Tag Team Champions. Where in this case, it's the Maximo Legacy Tag Team Tournament. Excuse me, because I'm gonna be straightforward. Without Will, Jose, and Joel, if they're watching, I'm giving you guys love. Without them, and I said this on Saturday night too, there would be no fucking tag team wrestling, especially here in the East Coast. Those three have solidified tag team wrestling, have been going strong for at least 2.5, almost 3 decades at this point. Still killing it, still going strong after all these years, having banger after banger after banger after banger after banger after banger after banger, you name it, they're doing it. And this one, we had 8 of the best tag teams in this tournament to be crowned the inaugural tag team champions. We had one in first quarterfinal matchup. We had the new back seats, which are Tommy and JP Grayson, managed by Johnny Cashmere, who, if you're a massive indie fan, especially around the Philadelphia area, that was Trent Acid's former partner when he was a part of the original back seats back in early 2000s. As they took on Ian and Eric Gordon, the Gordon brothers. Very good matchup to open up the show. Next up, we had the Slime Balls taking on the Slime Balls. The Slime Balls. Tommy Rant and Sage Chance taking on Miracle Generation, Dustin Waller and Kylon King, with Ichiban #1. And another good first round matchup where we saw Miracle Generation advance to the semifinals, later on that night. Then in the third quarterfinal matchup, we had Country's Most Dangerous, a.k.a. Deshaun Pratt and Boom Harden, taking on Seth and Micah Cortez, The Audacity. And these four phenomenal matchup, and which led to The Audacity being victorious over CMD. And last but not least, in the final first round matchup, it was Wasted Youth, which is Dylan McKay and Marcus Mathers against, I'm forgetting the fucking team. Oh, Brick City Boys. Oh, I'm sorry. They're not Brick City Boys. They're Brick City Men now. So now it's Brick City. And Jay Cruz and Victor Chase. Again, another banger of a matchup between these four, which then led to Wasted Youth being victorious. So now we go on to the semifinals, where in the first matchup, it was the New Backseats taking on the Slime Balls. Taking on the Slime Balls, where just before the match, the New Backseats came out and they blindsided the Slime Balls and attacked them. And then, a couple of cheating tactics and whatnot, thanks to Johnny Cashmere. And they were victorious and went and advanced to the finals, which is in the main event. The other semifinal matchup was, in my opinion, I think one of the best matches of the night. And Wasted Youth taking on The Audacity. Holy shit. You want to talk about really good tag team wrestling? Whenever footage comes out of this matchup, I highly recommend go seeing this one. Because these four individuals have fucking killed it. Seth and Micah Cortez, relatively known for their stints out here on Long Island, as well as IWA in Jersey. Mainly, they're part of NYWC out here in Long Island. And Wasted Youth, which is Dylan McKay and Marcus Mathers, students of the Bulldozer Matt Tremont from the H2O Wrestling Academy, and as well-known staples on JCW and GCW and, well, pretty much everywhere else. Which actually led to a very shocking win of the evening, in my opinion, with The Audacity going over Wasted Youth, which then led to the finals, which I'll get into in a bit. Then we go on to the semi-main event, which happens to be for the Wrestling Is Now World Heavyweight Championship. As the man who likes to constantly yell at his name, because I think for sometimes he has short-term memory and forgets who he is in real life, in PJ Savage, taking on the cause of it all, he is as above, so below, and the current Wrestling Is Now World Heavyweight Champion, Joey Conway. But before that, I almost attempted murder on our DJ because the mic system kept cutting in and out all night long. And apparently he kept blaming, I shouldn't have done, I'm pulling the curtain a little bit. I shouldn't have done an outdoor show. This is all new stuff. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know. Either way, it was absolute crap. To the point that even John saw me when I was pissed.
Yes.
Where I was about to introduce, the world title match. And I actually said, fuck it, dropped down the mic, and I projected as loud as I fucking can.
No, go ahead.
When that shit happened, I actually looked at Conway's and Savage's faces going, oh shit, now we're getting interesting.
You were pissed that night. Let's call a spade here.
We were doing so well up until then.
You said that going into the entire second half of the show.
I did.
That's where the fun started.
And then the match was going on. Great match between these two. But then all of a sudden the lights come off. And in the entranceway, there was a guy wearing like a robe and a mask. And apparently another person wearing, a black hoodie and, kind of like John's S&M dream over here. But then the music started playing, and who came out but basically John's favorite wrestler of all time, where he was giddier than a schoolgirl in a candy store, and that was Hamlet Hurts You.
Are you going to do the Hamlet dance, though? Please don't do the dance.
Why? You did it.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
I did not.
Yes, you did. After you were laughing your ass, you were doing it while you were laughing your ass off.
Oh, you mean this?
Yes, while he takes the fucking brush and he's like, "Hi," and petting his dog, distracting PJ Savage, and which led to Joey Conway being victorious and retaining the Wrestling Is Now World Heavyweight Championship, where apparently Hamlet yelled something. I don't remember what it was because I was thinking to myself, can we just get this shit done and over with already? And apparently Savage turned around and said next show, I'm gonna fuck you up. Okay then.
Yeah, that's gonna be a murder.
And then apparently Hamlet pulled out his inner fandango and did a 20-minute dance break in the middle of the ring after that segment.
Which, Ryan, I hear you were a big fan of.
I wanted to personally go in there and kick him in the dick and throw him out myself.
Oh, God.
Maybe not that. Maybe to not that extent, but you know what I mean. I just wanted to kick him out and say, come on, we'll get this shit done over with. So then we get into the main event. And normally I do a whole spiel. Thank you, everybody, for coming. But, of course, the fucking mic didn't work again.
Yes.
But how ironic, when it was over by, he was like, cool, it works. I'm like, I honestly think he was fucking with me, I think.
Probably.
That's why you don't hire Pennsylvania potheads. So basically, I projected, and John knew in the tone of my voice, I was pissed.
Yes.
I was fuming.
Oh, yeah.
And I did something that I had never done in my entire career.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, after I'm saying, thank everybody for coming. Also thank you to the Maximos. Waited for the crowd to die down, and I projected, and I quote, "I do apologize for the younger members of the crowd for what I'm about to say, but if it wasn't for them, there would be no fucking tag team wrestling."
No, I completely agree.
And everyone popped on that one.
I completely
Even
agree.
the Maximals popped on that one. I saw fucking Jose on the stage going, "Yay!" So then we go into the main event, which was the New Backseats versus the Audacity.
I have a question coming up for you, Ryan.
Yes. Okay. Here's the funny thing about that, though. There's a massive indie wrestling superfan named Robert Lottie. He has a megaphone. He actually spoke to me on Sunday when he came to Creative Pro and apologized because had he not, and they quote, had I not been in the bathroom taking a piss, I would have given you my megaphone. So, Robert Lottie, I blame you, fucker.
Great. Now we're calling out fans of the show. Wonderful.
He's not a fan of the show.
Of our show?
I don't know if he is. So, yes, Robert Lottie, I love you. I love you, brother. But at the same time, I blame you for not giving me your megaphone. You just had to pee, didn't you? My God.
Well, you can't control when somebody has to go pee.
He could have done it during the 20-minute fandangoing shit with fucking Hamlet.
Well, maybe he didn't have to go pee at that moment.
Oh, my God. Anyway. Oh, wait. No, I know why. Because he saw who was in the title match, and he was like, PJ Savage, I'll go take a piss.
No, Steve said he's just giving a constructive idea.
Steve, moving on.
Yes.
Moving on.
Yes. And folks, like I said before, we are waiting for our guest PJ Savage to join us, but yeah.
Is he awake? I mean, is he coming?
He, last I checked, was on Facebook. Give me a second here.
He fell asleep. Okay, so now we go to the main event.
Hold on.
Now we go into the main event: the New Backseats versus the Audacity. Where the winners will be the inaugural Wrestling Is Now World Tag Team Champions, and the New Backseats were victorious, and they are the inaugural Tag Team Champions. But this was the icing of the pissed off cake on my end. And John, you know what I'm about to say.
Go right ahead. I'm doing producer stuff.
The fact that how miraculously the microphone worked for the DJ. You see me standing on stage looking at him all pissed and yelling, going, "Oh, now it fucking works."
Quick question. What time did we tell PJ originally for tonight?
8 o'clock.
Okay, I just wanted to double check. But yeah, I'll say this much. You were pissed off big time on Saturday.
I had a nice long talk with Skills the Great afterwards about that shit.
But here's the one thing I will say. There was silver lining in Saturday.
There was air conditioning.
Yes.
Because, the building actually turned it on cool and not heat like last time.
Yes. That's what I was about to say is the AC actually worked.
And we left right before midnight. We left way before midnight. And then somehow ended up at Wawa and Hackensack and ran into a bunch of Jehovah's Witnesses.
Wait. Hold on. So you mean to tell me that most people go to a show in Jersey and don't go to Wawa? I never knew that was possible.
Some people probably never even heard of Wawa.
I'll admit there's people on Long Island who, when I mention them Wawa, they're like, "What the fuck is Wawa?"
And that's when you tell them, pop your bubble and start traveling.
Hey, I'll admit for a while I had no idea what the fuck Wawa was.
You're welcome.
Thank you, whatever the character's name is from Moana.
It's Maui.
Maui, yeah, that one.
Oh my fucking god! And again, this guy is the host.
Okay, I made a mistake. Story of my life.
I mean, when it came to the host picking class, were you like the last one to be picked? Was this a sympathy podcast chosen for you?
You're an ass.
I may be an ass, but I know my wrestling.
So do I.
Not really.
And again, so do I, because I think our guest is going to be joining us in a few moments.
I'm getting my vocal cords ready for this one.
I can go so many ways with this, but I'm going to be professional here.
Shut up.
He did see my message, so we'll see what happens. But let's just keep things going here while we wait for him. So yeah, I mean, overall, I'll say this right now. My match of the night.
This event was 10 times better than last time. I'm being straightforward.
Oh, I totally agree. I think for me, my match of the night has to be.
It's tough because all the matches were fucking solid.
No, what I forgot. Who did Audacity face in the second round?
Okay. Were you not paying attention to my?
I was dealing with the Facebook stuff.
Wasted Youth.
No. Who did CMD then face in the second round?
They didn't make it to the second round.
It was CMD and Audacity.
I want CMD and Wasted Youth again.
Yeah, but for me it was CMD and Audacity. That was my match of the night.
It was tough because all the tournament matches were fucking solid.
I'll say this much: even Savage and freaking Conway put on a good match.
Oh, I know. Just the whole card in general was solid. See, promoters. That's how you put a card together. Just make every show a tournament.
Well, I have a feeling the next one's going to probably be that.
Probably. But while we're waiting for our guest to show up, shall I quickly discuss what I was at the night after?
Yeah.
So, on Sunday, I was back on the mic with Creator Pro Wrestling as they presented Beyond Boundaries, which, by the way, you can catch the entire thing in its entirety on the Major Pod Network's Twitch channel. Taking place in beautiful Lynbrook, New York. We open up the card with tag team action as the Birds of the Sun, Leo Sparrow, and GKM Cuckoo! Taking on Dr. Cool J Klang and the Creator Pro Television Champion, the GOATest of all time, Bobby Orlando. And in a surprising upset so far, the Birds of the Sun were victorious over Klang and Bobby. But afterwards, as you know, Jay and Clang, after Clang and Bobby shake hands, Clang attacks Bobby Orlando viciously, and even hit him over the head with the belt. So I have a feeling at the next event, which I'll get to in a bit, it'll be Dr. Cool Jay Clang versus Bobby Orlando for the Creator Pro Television Championship.
Minor change of scheduling for tonight. Just want to mention this. PJ has something he's doing right now, so instead we're gonna have Kevin on at 9, PJ at 9:30.
Okay, so you know what? I'll get the shit out of the way now.
Yes.
So, after that, we went into. Oh fuck! I'm trying to remember the card off the top of my head. I know it was just reset. Crap. John, can you do me a favor?
Go to cagematch.com.
Yes, please.
I'm on it.
I know there were 9 matches. I remember that. But I'm trying to remember what was after the tag match.
Un momento, por favor. Keep talking.
Now I remember. In singles action, it was Liam Davis taking on Dirty Bulk Bronson.
I'll say, you saw me to look?
Have it up just in case.
Okay.
Dirty Bulk Bronson, where apparently it was Creator Pro Wrestling presents Pretend to be a ring announcer night, because Liam Davis took the microphone from my hand and introduced Bronson, pretty much taking my job away from me for that match. Obviously talking down to Bronson, and he said in this promo, oh my god, he said, and I quote, Bronson, what happened, man? You were so big and scary and tough. What? You got a girlfriend and fall in love, and now you're becoming nothing more than a teddy bear?
Oh, shit.
And by the way, if that's the case, then they should really change your name from Bronson to Simpson. I'm like, oh, fuck.
It was called Beyond Boundaries, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And those two went at it. Talking about big, beefy boys. Holy motherfucker.
Yeah, okay, I got the card up now.
Thank you. Have it up just in case.
Well, not the card in order. I have the card up with the matches that happened.
Yeah. Which Bronson was victorious over Liam Davis. And a very good matchup. Next up was triple threat tag team action as Jay George and Sebastian Amore. Sebastian Amore, not Amore. Taking on Vlogbro University, VBU, Dante Drago, and the social media champion, Jack Tomlinson. And the Even Stevens, Steven Azure, and Steve Somerset. Which led into the Even Stevens being victorious in this matchup. Next up, it was, oh god, ow. I'm sorry, I just had a spasm on my back. Crap. There was like one match I'm missing in between.
You want me to go through it? I got the card up right here.
Quickly.
And 6-man tag team action. Brian Myers.
That's it. Thank you. That's what reminded me. That was next. In 6-man tag team action. Sorry, John.
That's fine.
In 6-man tag team action, it was the team of Pat Fitzpatrick, Jay Macias, and the Dominican Destroyer Vargas, accompanied to the ring by the general manager of Creator Pro, Ariella Nix, as they took on the team of the most professional wrestler, Brian Myers, Phil Cardigan, and the Creator Pro champion himself, the one-lunged angel, Bryce Donovan. Which very good matchup between these six individuals, which led into Brian Myers, Phil Cardigan, and Bryce Donovan being victorious over Vargas, Jay Macias, and Pat Fitzpatrick. And then in singles action, it was TJ Crawford taking on the rocker boy, Nick Robles, who was a student at Creator Pro. Or John, if you remember him, he was the Jungle Kid.
Okay.
Very good matchup these two had. I was actually very surprised.
Nice.
Granted, all the students that come out of Creator Pro, which I'll get into in a moment, they've all been stellar, and Nick Robles definitely proved himself against a veteran in the Silver Sniper, TJ Crawford. Next up, it was a tag team match for the Creator Pro Tag Team Championships. And John, if you were there, you would have laughed your ass off, because apparently before the match even started, it was Create a Pro karaoke.
Oh, God, what they sing.
So first of all, out comes VSK, and then Eric James, sings his way to the ring, which is Backstreet Boys' I Want It That Way. Oh, wait, gets even better.
Okay.
Then here comes the two of them are known as Adrenaline Express, and they were the challengers taking on the champions Midlife Express, which is Kevin Tibbs and CPA. But their song, very good song, very good karaoke song. All of a sudden the music's playing, Kevin Tibbs comes out, and who starts singing? CPA. Singing their theme, which is My Sacrifice by Creed.
Oh, God.
I was laughing to the point that Eric James, VSK, Steve Dumang, the referee of the match, and myself were in the middle of the ring. We all put our arms around each other and start singing, When You Are With Me. I wish the cameras got that. We could not help ourselves. Meanwhile, I'm trying to be professional here, as well as Steve and all of them, and we're like, fuck it. But a very good tag team title matchup, which saw Midlife Express victorious over Adrenaline Express. And then we go into intermission, and a very quick intermission. And then we get into the second half of the show, which saw very much these two ladies actually making their singles debut.
Okay.
And as the Latina Spice, Nat Castle, took on. As of this Sunday, she now has 2 nicknames now instead of 1. You're welcome for that, Gabby. Not only is she your homie the Nomi, but since, because of her background, which, here's a little bit of a spoiler alert for all of you folks out there, including Mr. John Blame.
Okay.
This individual will be coming on to our podcast for an exclusive interview.
Yes, I am looking forward to that.
And, we're talking about her background and everything, and there's a reason why they also call her the Gridiron Savage in Gabby Forza. And when I tell you that these two had a phenomenal matchup, I mean, they had a phenomenal, and this is only the 3rd match ever in their career.
Really?
Yep. They both debuted back in March in tag team action. And then back in May, they were the main event of the kickoff show in that 6-person tag match. And then these two went 1-on-1 against each other, and a phenomenal matchup. But then all of a sudden the Latina Spice, takes, her little thing of, orange spice. I forgot what she had. Threw it on Gabby Forza, and then, calls for a disqualification, starts beating down, Gabby. And then here comes Ariel and Nix comes into play. Beating down, both of them are beating down, Gabby. But who comes running out also? Zuleika coming in, and she's getting into the mix. And, forgot to mention there was a female referee, actually, which I haven't seen in Create a Pro, so that's a first. And, these two are going at it, and then all of a sudden, Ariel and Nix is, egging Gabby to spear her, but Ariel moves out of the way, and Gabby spears the referee.
Oh, shit.
So chaos was everywhere. But then all of a sudden we heard a certain music play, and it was the formerly known as the Prince of Queens, but the most professional wrestler, Brian Myers. And he comes out with a little bag in his hand, as well as my microphone, saying the lines of, in March, Create a Pro Wrestling will be celebrating 10 years, which I said to Brian, as he's walking to the back, thanks for making me feel old. But he said the one thing that Create a Pro never really had was a true women's division.
No.
And also made a point to say that Create a Pro Wrestling had trained possibly one of the best female wrestlers in the world today, and is the current TBS champion, Chris Statlander.
Yeah.
So as Brian's in the middle of the ring with the little tote bag, drawn straight bag of the microphone, and of course, apparently the fans thought this was CM Punk and AEW, so they start chanting, "What's in the bag? What's in the bag? What's in the bag?" And Brian Myers made the announcement that there is going to be a tournament where the winner will be crowned the first ever Creative Pro Wrestling Women's Champion.
Oh, shit.
And that belt, absolutely fucking gorgeous. If you follow Creative Pro Wrestling on our Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter pages, go look at the design of the belt. You're going to go, holy shit. I sent it to you actually Sunday night after the show. What are your thoughts on that belt?
I'm actually going to see if I can pull it up quickly so we can show it to the fans. Folks, there is the belt that Ryan was talking about. I love the design of it. It's simple. I love the fact, by the way, how the side plates are of Chris Statlander. I think that's a beautiful touch.
Well, also, because that's a perfect way to pay tribute to the first female graduate of the Creative Pro Wrestling Academy.
Exactly. And we actually have a birthday that apparently will be celebrated on Saturday. I just looked at the comments below.
I'm not done yet.
Go ahead.
I'm not done yet.
Go ahead.
Let me finish. Thank you. We'll celebrate the birthday in a bit. But then after that, it was a matchup that some of you may know what type of match it is based off what I'm about to say. It is the Good House Sweeping match between Evil Kip and the sweeper Eddie Privetti for the Creative Pro Mayhem medal. And when people are saying, what's the good house sweeping match?
Like me.
Remember Jeff Jarrett and Chyna's good housekeeping match?
Oh, God, really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. This match had everything from chairs to tables to cream pies to sponges.
Excuse me?
Exactly. Which in the end, Eddie Privetti was victorious and is still the holder of the Creative Pro Mayhem medal.
Nice. I kind of figured they were going to do that with how they built him up at the last show.
And then after a very good cleanup by the Creative Pro Wrestling Academy students, thanks again, guys, for that, and gals. It was on to our main event of the evening, which, as some were calling it, the Battle of the Gays on the Twitter world, on the X world. Stupidest fucking name ever. In the dime piece, Aaron Rourke taking on Effie. And first of all, this was me personally a bucket list item to finally introduce Effie, because I never had the opportunity to work with him, and him and I have crossed paths numerous times, but we never actually worked together. So he was actually giddy. He was actually very giddy that he was finally working with me.
How is he, in the locker room?
Oh, amazing. Good old Southern hospitality from him, I'll tell you that. But that matchup alone was fucking phenomenal. They went, I think a little over 20 minutes.
Hey, I'm glad to hear, and I know that was the big match that they were talking about.
That was basically the headliner of the match, and this match had a lot of stuff, including stuff that I know John would love. Nipple biting, nipple twisting, ass smacking.
Hey, that's a fun Saturday night. What are you kidding yourself?
Remember, I have blackmail on you.
You said okay.
Just remember, John.
Well, you may not like the fact what I just pulled behind the scenes.
Oh, don't tell me we're going back. Please don't tell me we're going back.
What, to Exotica? Absolutely not.
Thank you.
Absolutely not. But we have a surprise guest joining us.
Oh, God. What?
You're going to love who I just pulled in.
Who the fuck did you pull in this time? Well, actually, can I finish up the rest of the show first?
Go right ahead, because I want to get him on for a little bit before we get Kevin on at 9 and PG at 9:30.
Well, what time is it right now?
8:35.
Okay, because I don't have a clock in front of me. But anyway.
Actually, 8:34.
And Aaron Rourke was victorious over Effie in a phenomenal matchup. and those two shook hands and even kissed a little bit at the end. But it was a great show all around. They're going back to Lynbrook on September 15th. It's a Friday night. And from what I'm hearing, they're doing something spooky related in October. So stay tuned to figure it out. So who the hell did you bring in?
Guys, Ryan and I have been on this guy's show before, so we figured, why not bring him on? Ryan, you love him. The one, the only. Come on, you motherfucker.
Hey,
Greek
what's going on, gentlemen?
Hey!
What's going on, gentlemen? How we doing
Greek
tonight?
Savage, what's going on, my man?
Doing good. Watching some NXT, watching some real talent, unlike tantalizing Tony.
Oh.
So what happened exactly between the two of you?
What happened is I'm sick of his crap. He comes to all these shows with his stupid YouTube title, his self-proclaimed YouTube championship, which, by the way, is not from YouTube. This guy's a delusional sociopath. He had a title made for himself. He's a child stuck in a man's body, all right? And it's sad because he's got a beautiful family. And if he keeps it up, they're going to have to suffer by watching him be in pain for the rest of his life. Because I'm not messing around. I'm over it. I'm over it, Ryan. I'm over it, John. I'm sick of him coming to my shows. He's coming to my territory. He's talking crap to me. He's sticking cameras in my face. He's telling people all kinds of nonsense. And it stops now. Yesterday was about taking a stand and sending him a message. And now the message is clear. Stay down, Tony.
So my guess is he showed up at Battlefield?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yes. Showed up at Battlefield and started running his mouth. Like I said, sticking the camera in my face all night, being unprofessional. You know, hollering and hooting and screaming and yelling at me. And, you know, I don't know who he thinks I am. I don't think he thinks I'm just like one of these random jabronis or one of these stupid marks who's going to sit there and take it. But I'm not that guy. I'm not that mark. And be sure, whether it's tantalizing Tony or some other mark who decides to come up and be brave, they will all learn their lesson. Now, normally, I'm a businessman. I'm not a fighter. I don't need to fight anymore. All right? That's why I make money. I make money so I can pay other people to do all that shit. I'm over that shit. I'm above that level. But Tony has made me cross a line that I didn't think I ever would again. And I'll tell you this, Ryan, all right, and this stays here, but if he keeps it up, he's been challenging me to a match for a long time. I'm retired. I'm not a wrestler anymore. But if he keeps poking the bear, Ryan, he's going to get the claw.
So, folks, welcome to Shoot Interviews with the Around the Rose podcast. Our inaugural guest is Greek Savage.
But Greek, actually, you actually have the video from what happened.
Well, that's a little remix that one of my producers put together. But yeah, that will show you what happened. If you want to play it, go ahead, show it to the people. Let them see what happened. I have no clue. I did it in front of his family. Or he could come to my territory. Tony won't be so damn tantalizing. Play the clip, producer.
Once again, guys, check out Ken Hoover, Case Promotions. He's got the Nation of Domination coming and Legend Hamburg Man.
Oh, shut the hell up, Tony. I told you I'm sick of it. Stay down if you know what's good for you. That's wrestling. My biggest mistake was letting that man leave the building because I didn't take full advantage of the opportunity I had. I got him. He was down. But that's what you get, Tony, when you mess with a savage. Don't ever do it again. You've been warned. I'm not going to tolerate your nonsense. You're not going to come around and show off your little YouTube championship to all the people. Nobody cares, Tony, especially Savage. Now, producer, I'm out of here. End this show. I'm out of here. Yeah, this was last night. I took over his show last night. I let him have his little moment on Raw. I saw him running his mouth for 3 hours. which I don't even know how anybody listens to him for 3 hours, let alone 3 minutes. But they do. He has his little nation of tantalization. But Savage took over that show real quick last night because I can take over any show I want to, including this one and any other show I want, because that's what Savage does. But I like you guys. I like Jon. Jon's a good cat. Ryan, you're a good cat too. You don't have a steel chair coming your way unless you keep talking that nonsense that I read earlier. Other than that, you're safe.
Hey, listen, to be fair, I said this to Jon. That's been brewing up inside for a while. I needed to get it out of my system to give myself a little bit more clarity.
It is always good to get things out of your system and vent it out. I know you didn't mean any of that.
No.
Deep down, you love this shit just as much as me and the next person that's pursuing it, maybe even more.
Of course.
So you're safe. You guys are both safe, but Tony's not safe. And make sure if you see him, you let him know. You should just avoid Savage. Stay down. Don't do it. It's not going to end well for him.
I was just about to say, I know we got WrestleBash coming up the end of in 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
Yes, very excited about that. I got some breaking news. If you guys want to hear it tonight, I'll break it here before my show.
Go ahead.
I just booked Marty Jannetty for StarCast. I will be in Chicago for the first time ever for 3 days, September 1st to the 3rd, with Marty Jannetty. And that will be his first appearance after Dark Side of the Ring, which will then launch the Party with Marty Jannetty tour, which then takes place at Legends Fest in Hamburg, Pennsylvania. We're also going to be at the Suplex City Wrestling, or Suplex Vintage Wrestling in Philadelphia. We're also going to be at Ken Hoover's promotions, which it's funny that I mentioned Ken Hoover because he was in that video yesterday. And you know what? They've been saying they want me to attack him with a steel chair. That guy would melt if I hit him with a chair. So what's the point? Yeah, and then at the end of the month, 90s Con. Obviously, we have Marty Jannetty again. So it's a big month, man, with Marty Jannetty, man. We're gonna try to, meet some fans, have a good time, and of course, party with Marty.
It's gonna be fun. And that's breaking news that was just announced right here.
That's right.
But
first ever.
Looking at WrestleBash, first of all, hopefully Tony doesn't show up because things can get real interesting.
I'm gonna have Haku with me. You really think I'm worried?
He's got protection. He's good.
I got Haku with me. I got Casey Navarro with me. I have Black Dahlia with me. I have her friend who's a professional wrestler, and he has 4 chainsaws with him. So I really don't think WrestleBash is the day that Tony wants to test my limits. He might end up in a body bag.
Right?
I'm good. I like Savage, and I don't want to end up in a body bag either.
No, you don't. You don't. And I'd probably have to get a double X1 for you, man.
No, at that point, just go to like a fucking
We'll just get some garbage bags, right? Just roll your ass up.
Oh no, I was thinking get a pool tarp.
Pool tarp? Yeah, maybe we just do a carpet. I'll go break into someone's house. Actually, I won't do it. I'll get one of my thugs to break into someone's house, steal someone's carpet. We'll roll your ass up, throw some rocks in there, duct tape, get on the boat. No one will ever know where the hell you went. All right? There's only 2 ways to get rid of a body without ever getting caught. Lucky for you, I know more than 2. I know.
So this went from shoot interviews to 48 hours missing. Okay,
sure.
Great.
Why not, man? You never know what's going to happen with Savage, man. Savage keeps that shit lit. Keeps it real. Did you know that Savage made his professional wrestling debut on Sunday?
Say what now?
I made my actual professional wrestling debut on a streaming platform. I did all the interviews for Battlefield Pro Wrestling on Sunday.
Oh, shit.
Everybody. And they all made it on TV. So I was on pay-per-view at least 15, 20 minutes. And a live interview with the new tag team champions of the world for Battlefield. Very good shit happening at Wrestling with Savage, man. I'm so hyped for Battlefield. Probably, in my opinion, the best promotion that's doing it right now, man. Like, they're just so ahead of the game in every single way, from the way they produce, from the talent they have, from the storytelling, and just the intricate setup that is in the back. I mean, I'm sure you've worked with Sean before, right? Big Sean. You know how Big Sean rolls, man. He's got a hell of a setup. He knows what he's doing.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
And they're just stepping. It's crazy to me how week to week to week, how they can keep upgrading that setup. And it's just continuously getting better.
Now, let me ask you this. Who won? I didn't get a chance to see it, but who won in that big matchup with your boy KC and Matt Cardona?
Well, Matt Cardona is my boy too, but KC Navarro was able to win again.
Wow.
Again, 2 times, which is kind of crazy, man. I didn't think that was going to happen. Let me see here. I'm going to share something with you guys, all right? Here is the interview with Matt Cardona.
Let me know when you got that. Okay.
Yeah, it's there. Savage here with Matt Cardona, the Deathmatch King, just coming out of the ring against KC Navarro. He's had the upper hand on you. Matt, what are we talking about? How did he beat you already? Again, here, live at the battlefield.
This was the rubber match. And he won. I would say fair and square, but you saw that. Low blow. Radio silence, then his finish. It took all that to put me away, but he did it. By any means necessary. That is how I operate. Always ready. Tonight, KC Navarro was always ready. He beat me at my own game. And for that, you saw at the end, I had to help him up. I had to put out my hand because I respect that. You know, this whole indie run, there's people who come up to me, kids in the back, whether they're workers or they're trying to get in the business, they ask for advice. And I can tell so many of them are just kissing my fucking ass. They're probably asking you for advice and you for advice and him for advice. But when Casey, he comes to me for advice and I give it, he applies it. He wants this just as bad as I did. So I believe one day he will make it in this business to the top. He's got all the tools and he's the Matt Cardona stamp of approval. This guy, he does these social media videos. He busts his ass in the ring to be relevant on social media. That's what it's all about. It's 2023. All right, this is a message for all those kids out there. Social media is fucking free. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. What's the new one? What? Threads. It's all fucking free, but it's a double-edged sword because it's free for everybody. How are you going to stand out? How are you going to break through? I found out the hard way in 2011. It's not fucking easy. And now Casey, he's figuring it out on his own, his way. And for that, but Casey, don't repost this like I'm putting you over, kid. You got lucky tonight. And the next time, we're in the squared circle. Come in, cameraman. Casey, I'm going to kick your fucking ass.
KC Navarro, you better watch out. It looks like you might have upset the Deathmatch King, Matt Cardona. Here at the battlefield, we'll see you next time, only on the Premier Streaming Network.
That's quite impressive of a stamp of approval to give to KC.
Yeah. They listen, it was a banger. The first match was an instant classic. Sunday was another instant classic. And this rivalry is far from over. I know Matt Cardona's coming back for revenge. You don't beat Matt Cardona twice and he's just going to forget about it. I guarantee you, while he's on tour in Japan and India and Mexico, he's got KC Navarro on the back of his mind. He's on his list. He's that rubber match is going to be a rubber match. It's coming.
Ryan, I think you're about to say something.
No, I was saying, wow. That's... Oof.
And by the way, Greek, going back to the carpet thing for a hot second, one of our fans said that he has a carpet. He can get ready. Just tell him where to meet.
Shut up, Steve.
That's good to know. Steve Jordan doesn't obviously have any love for you, Ryan. He's ready to wrap your ass up and throw you in the sea. Not good.
Yeah. The only thing is he really hasn't seen me pissed, and well, John has.
No. Okay.
So if you piss me off,
well, don't piss Ryan off.
I'll put it this way: we were at Win on Saturday. We were talking about this before you hopped on. Ryan got so pissed off he actually threw the microphone at the sound guy.
Oh wow! The sound guy was messing up that hard.
Yeah.
Second show in a row that this shit happened.
What'd they do? Just like they didn't turn the mic on in time, or
no? Apparently, it kept crapping in and out.
I would imagine you have to deal with a lot of craziness because you work with so many different promotions, and they all have their own way of doing things, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, but also apparently this individual was too busy, either sleeping in his car or smoking because, the owners were trying to find him.
Copy that. Yeah, well, that's not a good look.
Oh.
That's not professional.
Oh, that's for the Tony guy.
That's not professional. Not at all.
Yeah, but Greek, obviously you've known Ryan for a while. You ever know him to drop an F-bomb when he's doing an announcement in the ring?
No.
Oh, I did.
Can't say that I have.
Well,
he did on Saturday.
You lost. That means he really got pissed. He was upset. He was genuinely upset. Yeah. Okay, Savage gets upset too. Sometimes I got to work with a lot of incompetent people who don't, they don't know what they're doing or they can't keep up with me. That's the majority. That's been my whole life, even when I was in school. The kids in kindergarten couldn't keep up with me. Kids in 6th grade couldn't keep up with me. Hell, we got to high school. I'm on another level compared to every human being I'm walking next to. I'm walking down hallways knowing that I'm smarter and better looking and more talented than everybody next to me combined. But you know what? That's okay. Because life has come full circle. I didn't make it in the pro wrestling business back then because I decided to become a video game god. I decided to become a 3-time world champion in Gears of War and Rainbow Six and Ghost Recon and go and make money playing video games so I could shove that in people's faces. But that wasn't enough.
John, when did we book MJF 20 years into the future?
MJF? Who? MJF don't have nothing on me, man. All right?
I was just about to say, a little Greek Savage in kindergarten. I can only imagine what that would have been like.
Oh God, yeah. Well, first of all, I got kicked out of pre-kindergarten in about 3 hours because the teacher didn't have any respect for me, so I didn't listen to anything she said. She gave up on me. When I got the principal called my mom. Mom comes, gets me. This lady cannot teach your kid. Let's try to just put him straight in kindergarten. 4.5. They stick me in kindergarten. The teacher comes out. But obviously, this teacher knew what she was doing. Her name was Miss Macris, okay? I still talk to her to this day. To this day, I'm still her favorite student of all time, according to her. She knew how to talk to me, and she got the absolute most out of me because that's what teachers do. Real good teachers know how to connect with their students and get the most out of them. So that's why when I run into incompetent people, which, by the way, living in New York City, you do on a daily basis in every facet of life, whether it's at the drive-thru at McDonald's or the deli around the corner, the gas station attendant who doesn't know how to count 99 cents of change. I deal with it every day. I'm sure you do too, Ryan.
Believe me, I know the feeling about dealing with, incompetent people out here on Long Island.
You kind of learn how to live with it, and you kind of learn how to kind of like woo-saw it. Like, you know what? Yeah. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I tend to save my energy for people that matter.
And Ryan, you're right.
I tend to save my effort for people that matter. That's what I do. If you don't matter, why am I wasting my time with you? Whether it be having don't get me wrong, sometimes it's good to have a conversation with someone that you're not on the same page with someone that doesn't agree with you, with someone that has a different point of view, because this is how we learn, this is how we grow. And at the same time, it's good to just take in other opinions sometimes, but it's what you do with that opinion. Now, if you let it sink in and it's a stupid opinion, then that's your fault. That means you're weak and you have, this, I would say, vulnerability. You don't want to be vulnerable when you're talking to anybody. You want to take every conversation and make the most out of it, right? That's what I do, at least. When I talk to someone, I want to be able to learn something from that conversation, even if what I'm learning is retarded. And I'm sorry to use that word.
Ryan, go ahead. I'm just saying backstage.
So what are you guys doing right now? You're not watching NXT?
No.
Did you guys catch Great American Bash?
I caught the end of it when I got home on Sunday from Creator Pro. I actually got home just in time to watch Carmelo Hayes and Ilya Dragunov.
Was that match worth the watch?
Fuck yeah.
Okay, yeah, I gotta watch that back. I'm happy Tony D has gold now as well.
Oh yeah, definitely Tony D. You gotta even the even the triple threat match with Dirty Dom was pretty solid. There was only one match that, in my opinion, was the worst match definitely the worst match of the whole entire card. But it was John's favorite match because, he was so excited. and that was Baron Corbin and Gable Steveson.
Oh, I'm sure that match was great too. I heard it turned into a fight.
Oh yeah, the only thing that was good about it was Baron Corbin's new entrance.
Okay, I'm gonna have to watch just for that. Yeah, I was meaning to watch it, but there's so much wrestling on. When you're at the live show, it's.
I know.
I was all the way in PA. It's a big 2-hour drive back. I gotta find time. I did find time to watch about half of the Cody Rhodes documentary, which I gotta say, probably from what I've seen so far, it's probably the best documentary WWE's ever done. Like they went all out for this thing.
That's on my top
watch list. Yeah.
I've heard nothing but positive things about it.
Yeah, it looked fantastic from the half I watched. Good friends of mine got a mention in the show as well. Wrestling Universe was mentioned in the show, which was kind of cool. Seeing my local wrestling store get a mention on the Peacock. Always a good time. Speaking of Wrestling Universe, next Sunday, August 6th, the Hardy Boys will be there doing meet and greets. So that's going to be wild. There's going to be a lot of people there.
Oh, yes, there will be.
And Savage has booked an exclusive interview with the Hardy Boys, which will take place this Sunday.
Oh, shit.
Yes. It's going to be a good time, man. It's going to be a good time. We're going to get some hella footage. And, of course, get some autographs.
Oh, but of course.
Of course.
But no, definitely, whenever you get the chance, watch Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes.
I'm watching. That's on my list this week. Dude. I got to watch that. Because I love Dragunov.
I was on the phone with John, just like watching the match also, and he heard some of my reaction on some of the moves.
But Ryan, that's what you're good at. You're good at, describing the moves. He did that.
I'm hoping that Dragunov here, I want him on the main event already. I want him basically what I see happening, what I would like to happen, probably not right away, maybe by Survivor Series. We're going to see Drew McIntyre, Riddle, and Dragunov have a 3-way match with Imperium. Dragunov will turn on Drew and Riddle, join Imperium. They win. And then eventually Dragunov will turn on Gunther and steal Imperium from him. Maybe. I think that has legs.
That's actually not a bad theory, honestly.
It has legs. And I think Dragunov, and to me, two of the guys that are ready to be that next tier, like maybe not on Roman's level, but on the level to compete with him at least. Dragunov, Roman Reigns, great match. Dragunov, Gunther, great match. Dragunov, Braun Breaker, great match. Braun Breaker, Gunther, Dragunov, like those are 3 guys that I could see having a chance to be the guy to maybe beat Roman Reigns. Just like Cody, just like Seth. There's probably a few more. I don't know if you guys have a list.
But I will say, though, if that's the case, there's one matchup I definitely want to see on the main roster on WWE because I saw this happen once at a match at a show in the UK. Not in person, but I was watching it online. Dragunov and formerly known as Pete Dunne. But
listen, Dragunov can have a banger with literally anyone on the roster. Give me Dragunov and Chad Gable.
Oh,
give me that for 60 minutes. It'll be better than anything you see on TV that week. By the way, big shout out to Chad Gable. I'm sure you guys were popping yesterday that he survived the 5 minutes with Gunther and it kind of embarrassed him a little bit. That's a huge statement for Gable. I was so happy to just see him get that spotlight.
About time they gave him the spotlight.
Yeah, man. He can go, man, with anybody. He deserves to be a hell of a singles competitor. He deserves to have gold.
I still think what they should do, if they want to really push Gable Stevenson, have him, and eventually when he does come up to the main roster, if that's the plan, have him work with Otis and Gable.
Yeah.
Have him really become the Alpha Academy.
Expand Alpha Academy, exactly.
They could Alpha Academy is starting to get some good traction right now. They're getting big reactions, big pops. Gable knows how to work the crowd as good as anybody nowadays. He's almost a master at it. And he really has his pulse on the finger of the universe.
And Otis is just Otis, man. Everyone loves Otis.
Otis is over, bro. When you look like Otis, but you're walking out with girls like Mandy Sachs, Mandy Rose, whatever you want to call her, you're going to have fans because people are like, how is he doing this? How is he hooking up with all these hot girls? Maxine Dupree thinks he's hot and Gable's ugly. How is Otis not going to have fans?
Exactly. But my top star right now is probably everyone else's top star. It's some guy named LA Knight.
Okay, I got no problem with LA Knight. I think he deserves a push just as much as everybody else does. But are we going to get that push? Right now, we have him working with BFAB, saying that she's horny for him. Does that seem like a main event storyline to you?
Probably in the Attitude Era, maybe.
I'm talking about today, 2023. BFAB we're talking about. We're not talking about a credible high-tier WWE competitor. We're talking with somebody that's probably overall 67 in WWE 2K23.
God.
Maybe even lower. Might be 57 for all I know. Does that seem like main event storyline?
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely.
I feel like I heard a rumor, and I really hope it's not true, that LA Knight rubbed some people the wrong way, some of the powers that may be, and that his dream for a big push is over. He's not going to win the Rumble. That's why they're doing these silly gimmicks, I think, again. Because this is a guy who should be having a long-term story with one of your best. This is somebody who should be confronting the Judgment Day or the Bloodline or somebody. BFAB? You make me horny. You're horny for me?
I was saying this to John earlier. When I have him beat Austin Theory and become U.S. champion.
100% you can do that. I don't even know if that's the plan anymore.
Well, I read supposedly they're planning to turn Theory babyface, so I don't know what they're doing with him.
Yeah, good luck with that shit. They're going to need a miracle to do that. It could happen, but they're going to need a miracle because a lot of people genuinely hate that kid, and I don't know why. I love him.
Oh no, I remember working with him in when he was part of Evolve, and he was a behind the scenes great guy.
No, I don't even care about the behind the scenes. To me personally, if you're an asshole behind the scenes, I don't care. As long as you're a professional where it matters. In the ring with your opponent. Dancing. Getting the job done. Putting on a show. Telling a story. I don't care. I'm not that guy. Oh, he doesn't give autographs. Oh, he didn't say hi to me. Oh, he didn't shake my hand. I don't give a shit. They're not here to be our friends. They're here to put on a match and get paid. That's what they're here for.
Greek, not to cut you off for a second, but we actually got to wrap you up because we actually have our next guest who's waiting.
PJ Savage is in the house?
No, actually, Kevin Nasta, the promoter.
Kevin Nash?
Kevin, yeah.
Not Nash.
But
no problem.
Where can people find you on social media and promote your channel?
Everybody can go and find me at Wrestling with Savage. Real simple, wrestlingwithsavage.com. My website has all my links. I'll keep it simple. Or just search for Wrestling with Savage. And if you don't know how to spell Wrestling with Savage, then I don't even want you to follow me. Okay?
Couldn't have said it better. Again, Greg, thank you so much for having
Thank you for having me. And you guys stay savage. And tell Tony if you see him, take some advice from Savage. Stay down, Tony.
We'll do.
Stay down.
We'll do. So that was a little fun.
Nice little surprise there.
You're welcome. But guys, we actually do have our first guest joining us for the evening. He is the promoter, the head booker, the head honcho of Goddesses of War as they are set to go down to North Carolina, part of a big show called the Giant Celebration, happening on August 12th. The man behind it, also a Suffer Met fan like me and Ryan as well, the one, the only, Mr. Kevin Nasta. Kevin, what's going on?
Going on, guys? And I just posted on social media that Citi Field and Yankee Stadium, as of October 1st, will be Spirit Halloween.
But how you been, buddy?
Not bad, not bad. Just got home, had a night of bowling, jumped in the shower. I didn't want to be stinking up the camera because, you know, people are going to say I stink. I rather it not be because I'm giving off an odor. I'm a very big, you know, supporter of deodorants at wrestling conventions, you know.
Or if you were at a Collision in Newark.
Oof. Yeah, Alicia Toot made a very nice, alarming post about the smells that were coming out of that arena.
Well, at least she was honest, and quite honestly, thank God I didn't go.
Oh yeah, I think I'm immune to it. That's probably why I never got COVID. So thank you, wrestling fans.
If that's the case, I'm with Nasta. Thank you.
I think that's the first time anybody said thank you to wrestling fans when most of the shows are in New Jersey. Just saying.
Yeah, well, look, I do a lot of my business as far as the signings are concerned in New Jersey and New York, and the fans aren't the problem. The big mouth, look at me, like the CM Punk meme. Look at me, look at me. That's the problem. The promoters and the vendors are always looking for attention, putting themselves over, looking for the sympathy posts, whatever it is, instead of just going about your business, running your own business, making money, taking care of your customers, being respectful to everybody around you, and just being ethical. It's a toxic Northeast thing. I don't have to tell you guys. You've seen it, you've read it, you watched it, you've witnessed it. You've probably been stuck in the middle of it at times. Push comes to shove. This is why I travel the United States, because if I relied on the Northeast, I'd probably still be working in finance or still be working in retail instead of doing what I'm doing. But instead, I'm enjoying traveling around the United States, seeing up to 12 to 15 states a year, doing upwards of 16 to 18 conventions, a couple of them multiple times, meeting new people, networking, having other conventions from other states reaching out to me because word of mouth got out, that I am a professional and that they want my business at their business. So, it's not that hard, guys. Really, it's not that hard to be just nice.
I completely agree. Kevin, we actually do have some comments coming in for you.
Okay.
Steve Jordan chimes in and goes, "Hey, Kevin, good to see you there. Good to see you here."
What's up? What's up? Yep. I think I was on his podcast as well.
Yep. And then he also said, "Cool. He'll make sure the Halloween gear is there."
Nice.
But let's get to the, no pun intended, let's get to the giant show happening next.
Well, since he did just say that he's traveling to multiple states, and if memory serves me, it's in another state. Am I mistaken?
Yeah. I mean, the last time I checked, North Carolina was a little bit of a drive from New Jersey, so I'm gonna say that counts for another state. Whether they have all their teeth where I'm going is a whole nother story. But whatever, man. As long as the money.
How you feel sometimes when you go to Jersey, sometimes too,
or Pennsylvania, or Kentucky, or Indiana, or Tennessee, or
just bring
Florida.
your bill with you. You'll blend right in.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. We have the traveling band here. He'll play the fiddle. You play the banjo. I'll be the washboard.
Nice.
Right.
And we'll just drink moonshine until we're blind.
Fuck yeah. But anyway, like John was saying, a giant celebration.
Yes. Giant celebration and a giant tribute, celebrating. This is the 30th year since we lost Andre the Giant. And for many people who know or do not know, Ellerbe, North Carolina is where he called home. He had a farm there. That's where he relaxed when his career was over. Unfortunately, didn't get to enjoy his retirement that long. But, it's a very small town. They don't have much going on there. A couple of general stores, a couple of small businesses, and then you have the Rankin Museum of American Heritage, which now houses the last remaining items from the estate of Andre the Giant. So what many people kind of know about museums rely on public funding and donations, usually from corporations, to make their money. They're nonprofit. Usually museums are in the red, which is terrible, but it is what it is. They rely on concession stands, sales, and the souvenir shop and stuff like that, and any other packages that you buy. But mostly donations. They survive on donations. And we're putting this together. Leland's Auctions was the one that spearheaded this whole thing. And they brought me on board with my ability to bring in wrestling talent and my connection to my freaking dog. My connection to independent wrestling. I don't know what the hell she's barking at. We're upstairs and the gate's up. Like she can't even. She's in the bedroom barking at nothing.
Maybe she's so excited for the show.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, she's not going. She's a pain in the ass in the car. My older dog is great in the car, but the little one can't survive 5 minutes without knowing that the older one's not standing right next to her. So that's never going to work. So so there's going to be a museum tour. There's going to be a street fair with food trucks and street vendors. There's going to be a meet and greet with 20 Samoa wrestlers. I'm going to name a couple there. And a lot of them have worked with Andre during his era. Fred Ottman, who was known as Tugboat, Mark Henry, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase has that direct link to Andre the Giant. When Andre defeated Hogan for the title, Andre was the one that bought the title from him, and then that spearheaded the whole tournament in WrestleMania 4 where my boy Randy Savage won the championship. So thank you, Andre. Thank you, Ted. We also have Haku, who was one half of the Colossal Connection Tag Team Champions with Andre the Giant. You have Cowboy Bob Orton, who's going to have some fantastic stories from their days in Japan, which is going to be amazing. I hope it's child friendly. Then you got Chuck Coates. A lot of people don't know who Chuck Coates is, but Chuck Coates is one of those journeymen, kind of like the Randy Hogans and the Barry Horowitzes, enhancement talent. But he has had probably half a dozen matches against Andre the Giant across the United States. Obviously took an ass whooping a half a dozen times too. So he'll have some great stories as well. He's a North Carolina guy. We'll also have his daughter, Robin Christensen, will be there as well. And a legacy. One of the greatest storylines with Andre the Giant was the Body Slam Challenge with Big John Studd. Remember how that went. And his son, Big Sean Studd, will also be there taking photo ops. So great opportunity to get photos with Andre's daughter and Big John Studd's son. I mean, how many times can you really say that? John Nord, formerly known as the Berserker, he's got some great stories about working with Andre the Giant in Japan as well. Unfortunately, we had to cancel Jerry Lawler because of his health, but everybody kind of knows he's been canceling pretty much for the rest of the year. And then we have some Today stars. The Powers of Pain also will be there. Barbarian has worked tons with Andre the Giant, and Warlord was there Andre's later years of his career. We have Impact star Rosemary, Impact star Savannah, former NXT star Danny Burch will also be there, and then we got a local celebrity, big in North Carolina, the Beer City Bruiser. He'll also be there, and they'll also all be in action. So we're later on that evening in the streets of Ellerbe, North Carolina, being put on by 5 different wrestling companies that come together to put on a live wrestling shows in the streets of Ellerbe, North Carolina. Proceeds from everything: museum tour, food trucks, meet and greets, table sales, ticket sales, everything that goes on there. Proceeds are all going to the Rankin Museum of American Heritage. This is a big thing that I'm proud that's happening. I'm proud to be a part of. So I want to thank Leland's Auctions, Titan Championship Wrestling, Tracy Myers of WrestleCade, who also runs AML Wrestling in North Carolina. You have Rodney Freeman, who runs Imperial Pro Wrestling out of Tennessee. He'll be part of it. There's going to be another company or two based out of North Carolina that are also going to be there. Brett Webb, who is the general manager of the Rankin Museum. So we have a lot of people involved, a lot of pieces moving. Richmond Tourism has also been huge on helping us promote this and getting it out there. They also helped us get street vendors to be part of the show, and and thank you to the community of Ellerbe. They're shutting down the town, so for us, the streets will be closed. Yeah. So, there's going to be a very small strip of streets on one side that are going to be open. So if you live on the other side of town, you're pretty much going to have to park your car outside of town and then walk to your car. And there was absolutely no hesitation by the town. They could not wait for it to happen. They were proud of it. They know how important the museum is to the town. And small towns like this, when you have your one main attraction, your one tourist attraction, if that goes, then the whole town usually crumbles apart, and it's really sad. And I can't stress enough how excited I am with this, and excited I am that Goddesses of War is involved with this as well. Our champion Marie Valdomina is going to be taking on Rosemary for the title. The winner of that match comes home the next month to defend the title, which we haven't announced that match yet, obviously, but that's a quick turnaround. Our Funhouse Women's Champion Amazonian Amanda Fuentes will be taking on Savannah Evans. That's going to be brutal. These going to be two big women beating the hell out of each other. And then Danny Burch, Martin Stone, whatever you want to call him, he's issued the open challenge. He'll take on anybody that wants to be a part of the festivities. So we'll see who's going to accept that challenge. And then we even have a female referee, Lainey Rosario, is coming in from Florida to be the referee of the Goddesses matches. So true to my word, the Goddesses brand is a all women's brand. Doesn't matter if we're on the road. It doesn't matter if it's one match or two. We'll have the women broadcasting those matches with the women doing the refereeing.
Well, that kind of answered like 4 of my questions right there.
Oh man, I am so bad at this. I get yelled at all the time, like, "Wow, you just blew up 3 of my spots." I'm like, sorry.
It's fine.
Well, you gotta have the mute button. Mute button.
Of the names you just mentioned, when you were getting, I'm not obviously, we have, Rosemary, but I'm talking like the Mark Henrys, the Berserkers.
Yes.
Going through that whole list, do any of them, when you look at the names, do you sit there and go, how the hell did we pull this off?
You know what? We had a lot of experienced hands. I don't know if you guys know Dave Mucciarello. He goes by the name Dave Mooch. He owns and operates MZ Promotions. He also had a store in New Jersey called Collector's Corner out in Old Bridge, New Jersey. So he's familiar with the whole promoting and bringing in talent, vending, and things like that. So once he came to me and said that Leland's had this idea and wanted to do it to help out the museum, I was like, I'm on board. What do you want to do? You want to keep it all Andre era? And he was like, yeah, let's do that. And we started thinking, pretty much out loud. All right, who's unfortunately who's still alive that wrestled when Andre, wrestled that would still be physically able to come to the show and maintain, the traveling and things like that. I mean, we could have brought Abdullah the Butcher here and a couple other people, but some of them aren't up to doing a lot of traveling often. Some guys only do like once a month, if that much. So, it's rough to get, Jerry Lawler, like we said, was not feeling well. So he's not going to be coming to the show. Originally I wanted to bring Mike McGurk, but because of logistics, we couldn't get her there. And Mike McGurk has some great stories in regards to Andre the Giant. She was a little kid working for her father in his promotion and Andre the Giant worked for him as well. So, she remembers Andre sitting at the bar, pounding down beer after beer, So she's got some cool stories. But, it was just an accumulation of, who can we bring in? Then we started naming names. Then we started getting in touch with people. Then he was like, all right, well, you got the relationship with Bob, so you get Bob Orton here. And, what do you want to do about, do you want to do a wrestling show? I said, well, if you want to do a wrestling show, I said, let me get in touch with the guys from Titan Championship Wrestling, Charles Delutri and Billy Fetsky. I said, obviously I work side by side with them with the Goddesses of War program. I was like, I think they would jump at the opportunity to watch the ring truck up and boom, head down south. Billy actually lives in North Carolina, so he's going to be coming up earlier to get the ring and then drive back down. And then we just started putting a card together. And I reached out to a couple of local North Carolina talent like Rosemary and Savannah Evans, and they said, "Oh my God, yeah, absolutely, I'll do the show." And they're going to take part in the meet and greet convention as well as the wrestling show, so they're excited. I reached out to Lainey Rosario, who is a referee, and Lainey is friends with Martin Stone, who's formerly known as Danny Burch. So they're actually going to be driving up from Florida with one of our female talents, the Amazonian. So they're driving up from Florida. So there's a lot of moving parts, but between the talent based out of the North Carolina companies, the Tennessee companies, the few that we're bringing down with us, the staff that we're bringing down with us, I mean, it's one of those things. that people say can never happen, and is that multiple companies can't work together because of egos. There is no egos here. This is, hey, this is Titan's job to put the card together. You give us who you want to wrestle. You tell us what's expected. We'll make sure it happens. We're not here to bury anybody. We have our matches. They have their spotlight matches. It is what it is. Danny Burch obviously doesn't know who he's wrestling. It's an open challenge, so who knows who's gonna walk out of that curtain. I'm actually very curious to see who that is. I'm just excited. We got Steve Monster Mac coming out from Jersey. Going down to North Carolina to wrestle. Not many people, those parts of North Carolina have seen Steve Monster Mac and probably might shit their pants and fear for their lives after they do meet Steve Monster Mac. So who really knows? But it's just something I'm very, very excited for. I know Leland's is excited. I know Rankin's excited. Ellerby's excited. Titan, Goddesses, Chosen, AML, the two companies based out of North Carolina, Imperial Pro, Funhouse, like all these wrestling companies are all involved. We're all excited. The talent's excited. I know Sports Illustrated gave Bob Orton a call in regards to an interview for this event. I know there's been talks with WWE to either send someone or send something to the show in regards to Andre. We've had talks with AEW, who's also going to be 55 minutes away from us running that night. So who knows? We might have an AEW star making a guest appearance that we don't know about yet. So, we'll have to wait and see. But like any show, anxiety, the anxiety, which is worse than the actual experience of the event. It's the calm before the storm, where you get like super anxious and nervous and things like that. But I know it's going to be successful. I know it's going to be great. It's just too good, too unique, and it's Andre the Giant. I mean, who the hell doesn't want to pay tribute to Andre the Giant? There's not a wrestling fan that I know of. I don't care what generation they're from that doesn't know who Andre the Giant is.
No, I completely agree with you, Ryan.
So, considering just like John, you answered like 5 of my questions, but one question that actually, no, I'm kidding, Kevin. I'm kidding. But one question I do have though in regards to this whole thing that hasn't been answered. What made you want to bring like all these promotions together? Like obviously, like with Goddesses and Funhouse and Titan, obviously because they're all collective. But what made you want to branch out to like Imperial Pro and I think from what I saw, AML Future Stars.
AML, yeah, AML is Tracy Myers, who owns WrestleCade, that runs every Saturday after Thanksgiving in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, a convention that I highly recommend for fans. 3,500 plus a weekend for that.
So what made you guys want to branch out to these other promotions, do like this massive supercar? Like, was it logistically?
It just made sense. I have a relationship with Tracy Myers and Rodney Freeman because of WrestleCade. Tracy Myers reached out to me a couple years ago, right before COVID, about doing his show. He said he heard good things about me, which I had to question him and make sure he wasn't pulling my chain. But he said he heard good things about me. So he wanted me to do, I was supposed to do the show in 2020. COVID happened, so that didn't happen. So I did 2021, 2022. I will be back again this year. And I know he has AML Wrestling, and I know he's very successful at it. I've seen the pictures, I've seen video, I've seen the promos. So I was like, we're in North Carolina. I have to, and I told Titan, the guys from Titan, I said, we have to get Tracy involved. Let's have spotlight matches. We'll have them send their talent over. Now, remember, we're from New Jersey and New York up here. So it's hard for us to have that reach in North Carolina to reach the fans, to tell them to come to this show. So we need local wrestling shows, local wrestling talent to provide that exposure to the show in North Carolina. So by them promoting, WrestleCade's promoting, they put out their weekly emails about the show. So everybody that's part of WrestleCade, ticket purchasers and talent and vendors, they all got emails in regards to this show. Thousands of emails went out to these people. Okay. Rodney, I met. He's a vendor. He usually works with Thunder Rosa at WrestleCade. So him and I, you guys know, I work side by side with Thunder Rosa as well. So we had that in common, and that's kind of how we started talking. So we got. I knew he ran Imperial Pro Wrestling out of Tennessee, and Tennessee to Ellerbe is like a 4-hour drive. So I was like, dude, I'm like, why don't you just send a couple of people here? Promote it on your end. Well, maybe we get some people from Tennessee to drive 4 hours to come watch the show. Your guys, send the guys you think have the biggest fan draw. Fans will follow. You know, how I know, you know, with Thunder Rosa working with her, fans flock wherever she goes. No matter, they find her, you know, and they follow her, which is a great thing. So, you know, and then we had the 2 local companies in North Carolina that are a little bit closer towards like the Charlotte area and along that area. I think Dave Mooch reached out to them about possibly sending 2 talents, you know, a match over, and we got them in touch with Billy as well. And it just all came together. It came together the way it was in my head, which usually never happens. Usually in your head, and then in real life, it's 2 different things. But this actually came together as I built up in my head, which was a great thing because I didn't have to worry anything more about it. I set it up. I got the ball spinning. And then each ball rolled into different courts, and they all came back to the original spot, which was Titan. And I didn't have to step in and do anything anymore. They all came, talked, and everything was great. So I don't know. It was just a great thing, and you know, logistically, it just made sense. You know, if we're gonna try to reach fans in North Carolina, we need to involve people in North Carolina and neighboring states. So that's exactly what we did.
I think when I first heard about the whole idea, I thought it was a very nice thing to do. I didn't realize, by the way, it's been 30 years now since we lost Andre.
Yeah.
93. I mean, the reason why it sticks in my head is because it's also the year I graduated high school. Yeah. So
well, I guess then, Kevin, I don't want to make you feel that old. That was the year I was born.
This is a family show, so I'll keep my opinions to myself.
I was gonna say, hey, listen, if you talk to Tracy Myers and they need an announcer for a WrestleCade, tell them to call me.
Dude, the best thing I can tell you to do is get on a plane or get in a car, go down to WrestleCade. You don't care if you have to spend $25, buy a ticket, and walk around and network, bro. Just hand out your business cards. There is so many different wrestling promotions there with their talent. It's not just WWE, Impact, AEW, which you're going to see a lot less AEW because Collision runs on Saturday, so you're not going to see them at conventions anymore unless these conventions decide to change formats and run on Sundays, which I think next year you'll start to see, if not running 2 days. I think the only one that's really going to screw over is WrestleCon because it's going to be a very heavy Friday at WrestleCon because of AEW, and then Saturday is going to be absolutely no AEW, and Sunday is going to be a ghost town. So,
and especially here in the Northeast, we have the big event.
Yeah, you got a big event twice a year. You also have Baltimore Celeb Fest that's going to be running, I think now twice a year, starting in February. I think February and October.
Legends of the Ring.
I don't even think they're running this year, to be honest with you. They haven't run all year, and I don't think they're scheduled to run. I don't know. Don't take me for my word. I haven't seen squat, but I could be wrong. I thought they were running in October, but I haven't seen anything.
And you also have Wrestle Bash.
Yeah, Wrestle Bash. It runs once a year in New Jersey. You have your random horror cons and Monster Manias and Chiller Theater, which all attract wrestling. You have New York Comic Con that runs once a year. That's huge. Which actually, New York Comic Con, I think Monster Mania is the same weekend, that's going to be insanity.
Oh,
yeah. So yeah, there's a lot, and then there's that other one up in Philly that runs like 4 times a year that I'm not going to name, but that's another convention, another option, and it's just then you got random ones that pop up here and there. Some run. Like we ran a fan fest for our first show back with the Goddesses program back in February, but it wasn't a convention. It was a fan fest that involved the talent that were on the show. We invited independent women to come in and be part of it as well. It wasn't it wasn't us like calling Trish Stratus or Lita or the dudes. You know, it was the women on the show and independent women, women's wrestling that wanted to come and, you know, make a little extra money selling T-shirts and, you know, gimmick and things like that. Because that's, look, I tell the girls every show, I said, there's a reason why you don't see a table out there with Goddesses of War merchandise on it. Because they always ask, you guys sell T-shirts? You guys got this? How come you guys don't sell nothing? Because I want that customer who only has $20 to buy your T-shirt. How are you making money if they're buying the Goddesses shirt? They're not. They're going to spend the last $20 and want them to spend it on you. That's why you're here. You guys don't make a living on this independent wrestling crap. You'll make more money on gimmick than you will wrestling a show. You get paid $80 to wrestle, you can easily walk out with $200 in T-shirt sales. So that's how you got to kind of train them to push. Doesn't matter if you're a heel. You're a heel. You get right in those fans' faces, and you make them feel guilty for not buying your stuff. If you're a face, then you just give them the charm so they buy your stuff.
And I was at that fan fest right before that first Goddess show, and it was definitely a fun experience. To say the least, I got to say hi to a lot of them, and I mean,
it was very interactive. It was very personal. It wasn't like a mob scene. Look, I mean, I hope next year when we do it, there's a lot more people that are going to be there. That's our goal, to improve every show. But it was a stepping stone. You know, we ran 4 Goddesses show prior to and right up to the pandemic, where we actually ran 2 outdoor Goddesses shows. You know, and then we took time off, and then I was brought in to revitalize the brand. We're on our 4th show. So obviously you can't say it's failing if we're on our 4th show. And that's, you know, what our goal is. 1 more show for the year after this, hopefully sometime in November. We flipped the script going into 2024. We have some huge plans in multiple states coming up in 2024 with the Goddesses program. And I have no problem piggybacking Titan shows as well and do it like we're doing September 16th. We have Blades of Glory from Aberdeen, New Jersey. I already seen, John, that was your next question. Sorry. So from Highline Arena in Aberdeen, New Jersey, we have Blades of Glory. We have 4 Goddesses matches, and then we have intermission, and then we have 5 Titan matches. So that works just as well. And, you know, again, the female broadcasters, commentators, ring announcer, referees for the Goddesses. The guys, whatever, they don't get nothing. They get nothing.
I did see some of the matches that you already announced for the show on the 16th, and one of them that actually caught my interest a lot was Tiffany Avatar versus Taylor One Shot, I think her name is.
One Shot, yes.
And I know Tiffany has been doing like stuff with Goddesses, but I think this is Taylor's debut with the company.
This is yes. Most of our shows, if you haven't noticed, half the roster is usually debuting. Yeah. And that's kind of what I try to do. And it's one of those things I also speak to them at the pre-show meetings is I can roll out the same 5 to 7 girls who wrestle everywhere in the Northeast. And it's not taken away from their ability or their talent. But how are we different? What are we doing that's different if we're booking the same people that are in the same market every single weekend, every single month? We're not doing anything different. Yeah, we have a women's staff, but how is the card any different? What's bringing the fans to the shows, driving wherever we are in New Jersey? Because what are we doing that's any different? What we're doing different is we're showcasing different people every show. It's not going to be the same talent every show. We have I'm going to kick out of my I guess not, my mouse is not being cooperative. We have a couple of debuting. Taylor One Shot is going to be debuting for Goddesses. Vita Von Star is also going to be returning. She hasn't done a show since the very first Goddesses show, which was 3 years ago. So it's not a debut, but we haven't seen her in 3 years. Adina Steele is returning from the first time since she relinquished the title because of injury. This is her first match back. So this is kind of like a re-debut, I guess you can say. But we have other people on the card that haven't been Yeah, I'm just gonna pull up the thing now. My mouse is being cooperative now. So we have, Vita Von Star returning for the first time in 3 years. We have Adina Steele returning for the first time in well over a year. We have Nadia White making her debut on the show. Taylor One Shot, we said, is debuting, and Barbie Malibu also debuting on the show. So it's gonna be very interesting, and I'm actually looking very forward to it. If you haven't seen Barbie Malibu, look up Barbie Malibu. Girl's jacked.
I just have one question to ask. Is her manager Ken?
Not that I'm aware of. Maybe in Florida. I'm not really sure. But I can honestly say at the Goddesses of War program, it will not be a Ken because we don't have guys. So
Maybe a Ken draw.
I mean, it could be. I mean, there's a couple of Kendras out there that wrestle. There's a couple of them that probably would not be family friendly. We'll leave that one alone.
I'm just saying it'd be a good way to tie in with the movie.
Yeah, I mean, it would. I mean, I should tell her to just to do her promo wearing all pink, and but I mean, I don't look. Barbie is plastic, and she's fantastic, but Barbie Malibu is in Florida, where you can't be plastic because you'd melt. So the way she's shaped, she looks like she's carved out of stone. So I'm not going to mess around with her too much. So if I ask her to do something like Barbie-ish and she says no, it's no. I'm not pushing the envelope because I don't need her coming here and kicking my ass. I don't care how short she is. I don't run that well.
Ryan?
Just introduce her to John. He'll be fine.
Hey!
I always tell people, if you see me running, you better run. There's a reason why I'm running. I never run. There's hell behind me, and you better run.
One final question in regards to the North Carolina show.
Yeah.
Considering based off everything that you're saying, everything that you're describing to us, how everything's gonna be set up and whatnot, could this possibly a tease for maybe a yearly event?
I don't think so. Just because it's the 30-year anniversary of losing Andre. It has a special meaning. But if you start doing like, oh, this is 31 years, oh, it's 32 years, oh, it's 30, I think it kind of loses its luster. Plus, the guest list is very thin as of now of people that are still alive and healthy enough to make travel that were around during the Andre era. So I think, the more and more years you do this, it's going to be harder and harder to bring in different faces for the event. And if you keep bringing in the same people, nobody's going to go. So, I think this might be a one and done thing for now. We'll see what happens. I mean, I like the fact that we got some legacies there, though. With his daughter and John Studd's son. We were working on a couple of other people and their kids, but it didn't work out. We were trying to get Big Boss Man's daughter there. We were trying to get Teal Piper there, and we were also trying to get Coco Beware there as well, but he didn't want to make the drive. But again, he's up there in age. For him to make a 6-hour drive, it's rough. He took bumps for 40 years. I can't expect him to take a 6-hour drive in the car.
I completely agree on that. But Kevin, obviously, folks, if you missed any of this tonight, August 12th, Titan, Goddess, Funhouse, Chosen Pro, basically every company under the Titan umbrella will be making the trip down to English. It's there.
North Carolina.
To North Carolina for a giant celebration. I know that's not to honor the long lost relative of TJ Marconi. I had to put it out there.
He will be there.
Right. If you saw TJ's promo that he put out this week, he mentioned in there. So that wasn't me trying to have a stupid joke. That was something TJ said also.
No, I know. I saw it.
I'm going to laugh, by the way, if I see pictures from it and TJ comes walking out like Andre the Giant. I'm just saying.
But the singlet.
I mean, we've made the suggestion, the black singlet. Whether that happens or not remains to be seen.
Actually, there is one wrestler. I think he is on the show. Andrew Everett.
Andrew Everett no longer on the show. Andrew Everett, the Giant Andrew Everett, had to pull off the show because, and I can't get mad at this. He, like I said, AEW is going to be 55 minutes away. He got called to have a match for AEW, so I can't.
Okay, fair enough.
But hey, we can have TJ do it.
Good. You're gonna have Sean Studd do it too. He could come out with the singlet, and then with his dad's robe.
Recreate the Body Slam challenge.
That would be fantastic.
I was gonna say, Ryan, if we didn't have Immortal that day, I think we'd be making the trip down there.
The Body Slam challenge 40 years later. Here we go.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, there's been 1,000 ideas that have been tossed around. What happens, I don't know. It's kind of up to them. So I don't get involved. I have 2 matches to worry about. That's it.
That's fine.
Well, we would call the Body Slam 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Oh God.
Okay.
He's like, nope.
Kevin, that was my attempt at a really bad joke.
Well, you nailed the bad joke. Nailed it.
I do that weekly on the show. Ask Ryan.
Double tapped it.
Not only that, he does that daily every time he calls me. And
my wife gets mad at me on a daily basis because of my puns and my "that's what she said" remarks. Yes.
Oh my God.
But again, Kevin, appreciate you hopping on as always. Always look forward to getting a chance to chat it up with you. For people who are just tuning in now, just I guess promote the show this 12th and then the show that you guys have coming up on the 16th.
Yeah, so August 12th, Ellerbe, North Carolina, Giant Celebration and the Giant Tribute. You go to Titan-ChampionshipWrestling.com to buy tickets for the Giant Tribute Wrestling Show, the Giant Celebration Fan Fest, and Museum Tour. You can buy the day of the event, August 12th, at the Rankin Museum of American Heritage. Proceeds from everything that day, including the street fair, food trucks, street vendors, and everything will be going to the Rankin Museum. Also, August 20th, come out to Wrestle Bash to see AEW superstar Thunder Rosa and former tag team champion Sarita, also known as Sarah Stock, will be with us at Wrestle Bash. And then on September 16th, Blades of Glory. Come out and see Goddesses of War Titan Championship Wrestling at the Highline Arena in Aberdeen, New Jersey. Again, Titan-ChampionshipWrestling.com. You want to go to Goddesses of War social media, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, TCW.Goddesses. On Twitter, TCW_, because you can't use a damn dot, _Goddesses. And for me, just search Damage 365 Promotion, and all my social media crap will come up, and just give me a holler.
Again, Kevin, I always look forward to getting a chance to talk to you, and we'll actually see you at WrestleBash in a couple of weeks.
Look forward to it. Mr. Peterson, will you be attending, sir?
Yeah, because I am actually the featured guest.
Oh, God, we're screwed.
Hey!
Gonna have to call Nick. We need to chat.
And here we are talking very highly of you. Then you pull this shit. Come on.
It's all fun and games, and until someone says Ryan Peterson is the featured guest.
Good Lord, he's like the third person that has like shit with me. What the fuck?
Nah, I don't, dude.
First is Pete Rosado, someone you can hear 3 states away.
It's true. Well, you can't see him from 3 states away. Sometimes you can't even see him standing in the same room, but you can hear him.
Exactly.
But look, I don't got shit with nobody. I'm busting your chops. Remember, you were the guy that walked up to me I want to say it was a big event and then another show after that. And you walked up to me like, "You don't remember me, do you?" And I was like, "Of course I do, Ryan." You're like, "Oh, okay."
Because you flat out said I sometimes don't remember people.
Oh no, it's true. There's just people that hit me up on social media all the time. You're like, "Hey, Ken, what's going on? I used to love your podcast," and blah blah blah. Or they'll ask me like, "Hey, are you Kevin?" I'm like, "Why?" What did I do? Did I offend you somehow? Do I need to apologize in advance?
Yeah, right.
Well, that usually happens with me when people look at me, they go, "You're John." I go, "Depends on who's asking."
Depends. Yeah, it depends. I mean, how much money you got?
And am I about to get my ass chewed out?
No, I mean, look, I tell everybody, look, if you're going to come up to me and you got a problem with me, give me pizza first, let me enjoy it, then you can kick my ass and this. Look, if you're going to go, you're going to go with a full stomach.
Hey, it's the only way you can go. But again, Kevin, it's great to always have you on. Definitely gonna have you on again, and we can't wait to see you at WrestleBash.
Yeah, guys, see you both August 20th. Come over, take a picture and high five Thunder Rosa, arguably the most famous and most recognizable women in professional wrestling, and then pay your dues. Take your photo ops with Sarita, as she'll be taking photo ops with Taylor Wilde, the first ever Knockouts Tag Team Champions.
It's going to be a fun time. It's going to be a blast. But obviously, you guys have North Carolina first, and then you got to worry about WrestleBash.
That doesn't stop, bro. Just one after another after another. Life of a promoter and a vendor is enjoy your vacation when you can. I'll be in Greece for 2 weeks in October, and then I come back, and it's boom, right to big event.
I'm jealous because Greece is like on top of my bucket list.
Greece and Italy, 1 and 2, and I'm hitting both of them the same 2 weeks.
Oh shit!
And in 2025, I turned 50, so I'll be hitting up Hawaii, another one on my bucket list.
Nice. As John just disappeared, I know what happened. I know what it is. John, unplug your microphone. His microphone heats up his laptop.
Okay. Maybe a little external fan might come in handy.
Yeah, right. But anyway, Kevin, again, it's always a pleasure having you on. And always a pleasure.
Thank you. I appreciate it. See you guys in a couple of weeks, and thank you for the kind words in regards to the North Carolina show. Oh,
absolutely, man. You know, like John said, if I didn't have Immortal and he wasn't coming with me, we would be down there in a fucking heartbeat.
Well, hopefully we'll have some great pictures and video to post throughout the day. You'll be able to check it out before you go to your show.
Oh, absolutely! Can't wait to hear all about it, man. But anyway, Kevin, stay safe. You know the drill. And John's gone.
Yes. That's okay. Good time.
That was a running solo. Yes.
The Ryan Peterson show.
Finally. John got fired. I'm just kidding. Anyway, Kevin, again, thank you so much, and we will definitely see you soon in a couple weeks. Guys, check out Kevin Nasta all over social media pages. He's got great guests always coming into to events. This guy is the fucking man. I'm being straightforward.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. So anyway, folks, later, man. So anyway, folks, as John's, getting back to this normal thing, that was Kevin Nasta, owner and operator of, look who it is, John Blaine.
Unfortunately, internet screwed me over once again. But guys, we got one more guest.
Is he here?
He is here.
Okay. Hold on.
I can't believe this actually going to happen.
All right.
Let me know when you're ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, as I'm doing my P.T. Barnum right now, the individual that'll be joining us is quite possibly one of the most powerful human forces in wrestling today, who, in my opinion, is one of the fastest rising stars in the Northeast at this time, and also the same type of same person who constantly yells his name every single time, whether it's out of fear or out of possibly trying to remember who he is. But anyway, folks, this is the, and by the way, Savage, this is without a microphone, just like Saturday.
Oh man.
For he is savage. It's PJ motherfucking Savage.
What's up, guys? What's up, guys? Sorry, I'm finally on here. I'm finally here. We finally made it happen.
Yeah.
Dude, I know you were afraid of us, man. That's why you kept dodging us, man.
Nah, I had the times all fucked up, and then I was like, it'd be better if I just came on afterwards, so we don't have to cut shit short. So I'm here now. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, it's all good, man. So, how the hell are you? Been a long time since I've seen you, buddy.
Yeah, man. Nah, I mean, we saw each other Saturday. Had some going on Sunday. It was up at Sanctuary, and yeah, and we're gonna see each other this Friday night. We outside Invictus Pro Wrestling.
Oh, John, go right ahead. I know you got some questions right away.
Well, I guess since we brought up Saturday, let's get right into it. What are your thoughts on I would say your battle, war, whatever you want to call it, with old Joey Conway there?
Yeah, man. Me and Joey Conway. It's rare that you find a dance partner in the business that like you can just. We don't have to call nothing. We don't have to talk about anything. Me and him can just flow. We flow inside the ring together, and I'm very grateful for Conway, just behind the scenes, like, and mixing and matching. And me and him wrestled in Puerto Rico, and we had the same chemistry. There's a chemistry there every time that we're in the ring together. And this past Saturday night, it was no different. It was a chemistry. We whipped each other's ass. We beat the hell out of each other. One of the things that I wanted to do. I feel like every main event, I feel like I kind of started to lay out a template for everybody, and people started to use it. And I'm not going to say names, but I would start my matches in the ring, and then I had a template where we would go outside, do something crazy, and then find our way back in the ring. And then you get to the holy shit parts of the match. And I kind of wanted to break that formula. I wanted to stay in the ring. And I feel like we did that. We didn't come out. We just stood in the ring. I wanted to show people I can stay in the ring, go in the ring for 20 plus minutes. And Conway's that person to dance with, man. So, but in terms of just storylines and being at win, my story's the same, man. It's chasing the title. It's going for it. Hamlet got in the way now. So now I got to kill Hamlet, but my eyes are firmly set on that win heavyweight championship. That championship is beautiful. Oh,
I couldn't agree more. And yeah, you and Conway fucking killed each other. Not before I almost killed my voice in the intros. Just saying.
That was good stuff. I enjoyed that.
Listen, I saw you and Conway's face going, "Oh, this shit's about to get intense."
Yeah. I mean, that's good stuff though. Like you match our intensity. That's why I love you as an announcer. I love being in the ring with you. I'm gonna delete that Facebook post that you put up myself. The industry needs you, man. We need you out here. You bring
I told people this, that stuff's been brewing inside of me for a while, and you know what? Honestly, it was eating me alive. I felt like I just need to get it out of my system.
Yeah, and we all get there, man. Especially like people.
Well, I can sleep better at night too.
Yeah, and then I know what it is, man. We're in a grind, man. We're in a grind of like constant just what's the next date? What's the next date? What's the next date? And then all of a sudden it's like, what am I doing this for? Why are we doing this? Aren't we doing this to get up higher? And then when you don't find yourself getting up higher, it's hard, man. It's hard to keep the same motivation because you want to see. Like, I'll be honest with you, man. Like, so I've been on the Indies. I just hit 2 years in Indies.
Only 2 years?
Only 2 years in Independence.
I thought it was longer for some reason.
2 years, maybe about it. I hit 3 years on the Indies. March of next year. That's when I hit 3 years. So I'm at 2 years and 6 months about right now.
Shit.
Yeah. But I was training down at Johnny Rod's for 4 years. And when I broke out, I had a year off because of the pandemic, which we all did. So I'm really only like 6 years in. But doing nothing but training for those first 4 years and then being on the Indies for 2 years plus. And you start telling yourself, man, and Ryan, I've been through some shit. I've been fucking backstabbed. I've been through so much stuff, man. And it's like sometimes I'm tired of wrestling in front of 10 people. I'm tired of wrestling in front of 100 people. I want to wrestle in the big lights. I want to wrestle in front of 100,000 people. Like, I feel like I can pull it off. I feel like I can do it. And I need a chance. So I can only imagine how you feel especially you being an announcer, being a great announcer on our scene, it's got to be fucking eating you alive. I know.
Because I've been doing it for 11 years too.
So you double me. You double me. You more than double me when it comes to time on the indies. But when it comes to wrestling time, you double me. And brother, I know, man. But what I would say is I keep telling a lot of people this. I've had a lot of guys come up to me and go, how do I keep going? What's the next step for me? There's a lot of guys I always bring up that meme, that picture of the guy digging the hole, trying to get some diamonds. And he turns away right before he hits the diamonds. And then you got the other guy on top of him that's just going to stop no matter what. It's not going to stop. And he's going to hit the diamonds because you turned away. So, just keep going, man. Just keep going.
I appreciate that, man. Even though I always talk shit about you all the time.
Yeah, it's all love. You know I love your big ass, man. I can't imagine being in the locker room without you. You're a staple. There's guys like you. And all the announcers. The three main announcers for me out here is you, Shane Freer, David Adams. Seeing either one of you guys walk away would break my heart because I love you guys. I can't imagine this scene without you guys. The Northeast, when they write the story about the Northeast, about this time period post-pandemic of the Northeast independence, you are going to be a staple of it. You know what I'm saying? So just keep going, man. Keep going.
I appreciate it,
good
man.
times coming. It's gonna be.
But I want to go back on Saturday. With that John's favorite wrestler Hamlet coming out.
Wow.
I mean, Savage. I mean, he's in the corner laughing and doing the dance at the same time. I'm just saying, man.
The dance is catchy too. The music is catchy. It's I'm in the ring. I'm
Not the response I was hoping to get.
Oh man, Hamlet's a weird character, man. Because there's a lot of people that even said during the first show, the first ever Win show, where it was supposed to be me, Chavo, Hamlet, and Conway.
Yeah.
The character that Hamlet is portraying, maybe it doesn't fit. And when people say that, it intrigues me because it's a challenge now. So when it comes to the creative part of pro wrestling, I get excited by that because if someone goes, that character doesn't fit in the main event, and I consider myself a main event guy and like to carry main event stories, I want to see if I can make it fit. I want to see if I can make it work because now if you can, you're probably going to have something really special in your hands. Right. So that's where I'm at. I remember when we laid out the roadmap, I wanted Hamlet. It was like, if we're going to lay this roadmap out, we got to do something with me and Hamlet if he's going to stick around. And right now, I think he has a shoot job with Disney. And
I remember hearing about that, which kind of surprised me. I'm like, wait, what's he doing here?
Yeah, man. Funny story. He was supposed to go to Puerto Rico with me and Joey Conway. And we were waiting in the airport. It's like, where's Conway? Not Conway, where's Hamlet? And we got a text that he's stuck in Miami. He can't get out of Disney. And we're like, did he just go to Disney knowing he had a booking? And then we found out he was down there working. We was like, oh, well, props to him. I think he's going to Saudi Arabia with them in September. Oh. Yeah, he's on the physical performance guys.
Oh, so, nice.
Yeah. I remember Jorge Santa used to do something similar. He was Hulk. I don't know what character Hamlet's portraying with whatever show he's doing, but
hey, good for him, man. I think that was
it's awesome.
That was a dream job, I think, too.
Yeah, that is something he dreamt about doing. He always wanted to do. He was a heavy theater person, so this is awesome for me.
I remember his other gimmick when he come up with the freaking Hamlet.
Hamlet hurts you. Yeah,
hurts you.
So a lot of people don't know Hamlet. When his name used to be Johnny Star Power, and Johnny Star Power was a Shakespearean. And me and him trained down at Johnny Rod's. So me and him came up together. We came up through ranks together. I'm talking every day in the ground with each other for years. And so he's been pulling off the Shakespeare stuff for a long time. And this is the first time that he kind of veered away from it doing the Hamlet gimmick. One of my first, when I won the heavyweight championship down with Johnny Rod's, he was my first title defense.
Oh,
when
wow.
I was down there at Johnny Rod's. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
And also, how did it feel having air conditioning on Saturday?
Oh man! Oh Jesus Christ, man! It's so fucking crazy on the indie scene. I remember a couple weeks back, I was doing a fair. I was getting changed in front of people, trying to get shaved ice, and here I am with my ass out, trying to put on some wrestling boots, looking like a stripper. And then the next day, I was in this arena, like beautiful lights everywhere, and I'm like, what? Like, this is such a crazy life, man. It's such a crazy life.
I can't even imagine people standing online getting ice going, hey, can I have a cherry ice? And, ooh, can I get a side of that Savage Booty?
Good times, man. Good times.
John, go ahead.
PJ, another match that you had that I happened to be at was you took on Face at the last NFW show.
Yeah.
Can you talk about the spot you had where you basically went through the door?
Yeah. So, I didn't really see anybody like break the building, to my knowledge. I know after I did it, I know the spot was done by I think Math and Ryman, and then two guys prior a couple years back. So it was a while before I seen it. I had never seen it. And me and Face, when you think PJ Savage versus Face, you go, holy shit. Like, this is going to be a war. This is going to be something intense. It's going to be crazy. And I wanted to give that without doing the normal stuff because the whole match was going to be intense. We were both bleeding. We were both going crazy. And I remember just the door being there. And I was like, this is what we need to do. We need to break this shit. And that's how the spot came to be. And I almost fell off the railing because the funny story is, when I went through the door, I didn't know there was a lip, like a little lip there with some stairs to go down and a railing. I thought it was just concrete. You go through the door, you fly out, boom. So I fly out the door and I hit the railing and almost flipped over it. I know Face went through it. It was crazy, man. It was crazy. It was insane.
Well, I remember seeing Face, I think maybe about a week or two before that. And I told him, obviously I was going to be there because I think I went with Ryan for that one. And he looked at me. He goes, "Oh, be prepared. You're going to be in for a bloodbath."
Yeah. It was crazy, man. And Face is a bleed. He's like he's out indie John Moxley. He's going to bleed every time he's in the ring.
And all I remember was after that spot went down, I remember Nick leaning over to me and said, and you had to tell him good luck following that.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. So that's a funny fucking story.
Yeah.
So, everybody knows I'm an intense guy. So especially
really? I didn't know that.
So like right before my match, I'm in it. And of course, like every time I go, I want to deliver the best match. I don't care who's on the card. I don't care what's on it. No respect to anybody else. I want to deliver the best match of the night. That's just my mindset, man. Like, and that's and we're in a scene where like you can't really do that everywhere else. I learned that you can't really do that in Puerto Rico. You can't really do that in like Texas and some other territories where you kind of have to respect the card, so you have to know where you're at. But over here, that's why I love us. That's why I love New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut, like our whole little Northeast corner. We don't give a shit. Like, you just got to follow that, man. Like, you have to follow it. And if you can't follow it, then fuck you. Then you don't deserve to be here. Then that other guy that did kill it deserves to be in your spot. So it's intermission. I'm hearing Akira and Ellis Taylor killed it. A lot of people saying it. And it was weird because you had two hardcore matches back to back. Funny story is I kept hearing stories that me and Face were supposed to be the main. They were going to like try to mix it up. It was either going to be Akira and Ellis as the main or me and Face as the main. And I remember when they were switching up the card, we wanted to respect it. And Bougie had the title match. We was like, that has to be main. This is the title. Can't shit on the title. And so I'm standing in the back, getting them all wet. I'm ready to go. Like I'm literally just waiting for the sirens to hit. And in pops this big ass head right through Gorilla. He goes, Ellis Taylor and Akira killed it. Good luck following that. And he walked out, and it was Ryan.
Yeah.
And Face had this face of, does he know who he just said that to? And then I forgot who else.
To be fair, also I kind of said that just to give you guys a little bit of a boost.
Oh, you did you? Did you?
Oh, did I ever?
Did you? And I remember, there was somebody else back there. I don't know if it was the referee or somebody, and they were like, "Did he just say that to PJ?" And I was like, "That's a good thing." because now I'm gonna break this fucking building down. And literally right after I said that, the fucking sirens hit, and I was like, "Oh, let's go! This is it. We're in the fucking waters now."
So should I say you're welcome for the massive boost?
Yeah. Me and Face ended up killing each other after that, man. And it was like we already had it planned, but it was like it was dialed up to 10 after that. It was dialed all the way up.
And then the other match I want to get to, then Ryan, I'll send over to you, was your match at Titan that just happened with you and Ben Castle.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a good match. I thought you two had a phenomenal match, but the moment for me was beforehand, getting the opportunity to make my in-ring debut announcing who you were facing.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, man. So I was scheduled to face Joe Ocasio, which is still lined up to happen. But me and Ocasio was excited to go to war with each other. We was excited. And he got into a car accident. He had a hit and run accident. He couldn't make it. His neck and everything was out of whack. So we decided to just be different and put up a Facebook poll. Like, let the fans choose my next opponent. Little did we know we had over like 600 reactions on it and over 500 votes. And it was like, wow, okay, this was good. And then a lot of people voted for Ben Castle. And Ben Castle's had his naysayers. Ben Castle's had people saying too much too soon, whether Titans just bringing him up the ranks too fast. So maybe a lot of people just want to see if he can hang. And whether it was to see if he can hang or they wanted him to get a shot, that was the night he got to prove it. And it was decent, man. It was cool. Just, of course, he's still kind of green. He's still very young. I think he's probably less than a year in. And but he's got a future. He's really talented. If he keeps his head on straight and focuses on pro wrestling, he could definitely have a future in this. He could definitely have a future in this. And I love long-term storytelling. I love planting early seeds. So if he becomes something a year or two down the line, maybe a year from now, and I'm holding the championship in Titan Championship Wrestling or anywhere else, it's a good little seed to call back on and have me and him go at it. So it was awesome.
I'll just say this much. I give you guys a lot of credit for trying to get out of that ring. My first time getting out of that ring, and I realized how short I am.
And that Titan ring's a little high. They have two rings. They got the low boy and they got the high boy. And the high boy is pretty fucking high. I know Shane Fair takes bumps every time he jumps out the ring. And then, Ryan, I still gotta watch you how you get out the ring. I never saw you get out before. I don't know how you get out.
Well, we'll see what happens. But let's talk about the future of what you have coming up, including this Friday at Invictus Pro Wrestling's We Outside, or as my dumbass said it, we going to be outside.
I didn't even know you said that.
Oh yeah, Mr. Alex Aceta kept busting my balls the entire night, and he's still busting my balls to this day.
That is amazing. You said we are going to be outside.
Listen, to be fair, that show I was contractually obligated to do just Invictus's matches, not NFW's matches. So my mind was all fucked up at that point.
Oh, matter of fact, I did hear you say that. I did hear. Yes. It was at the last show. Yes, I did hear you say that, man. Oh, fuck, bro, you can't get any whiter than that, man. You just.
I'm Irish white. What do you expect? Anyway.
Oh man, yeah. So this Friday we outside. The show's jam packed, man. You got Ken Broadway versus Landon Hale. You got Bougie versus Francisco Akira from New Japan. You got what's the tag match? I'm looking forward to the tag match. Dominic De Niro and Chris. Versus Nikolai White and Jordan. No, not that one. Who are they going against?
I was talking about a different tag match. The Invictus tag title is Fight or Die versus Ryan Gosselin and Victor Chase.
Oh no, that's not the tag. Oh, it's Nikolai White, Jordan Saint versus Monteki and Evander James.
That's it.
I'm looking because I feel like whoever comes out of that match is next up for the championship, and one of those two teams, like I like Jordan Saint. I know this is his first time in Invictus. Nikolai White's been talking my ear off about Jordan Saint for a while now. I watched some of his stuff. I'm very interested in watching Jordan Saint wrestle.
And then also that 8-man tag with Genesis and
oh yeah, and the Bronx team of
oh yeah,
Matt Awesome, Jared Diaz, Johnny Santos,
Matt Awesome.
And who's the fourth?
I'm forgetting the name off the top of my head.
Oh, who's the fourth?
But also, you got a pretty big matchup yourself.
Yeah.
Against some hitman for hire in Mr. Grimm.
Yeah, man. I am looking forward to that match more than you know. More than a lot of people know. When I first hit the indie scene 2.5 years ago, a lot like Mr. Grimm was the name on everybody's like tongue. I kept hearing about Mr. Grimm, Mr. Grimm, Mr. Grimm, Mr. Grimm. AEW Dark, everything. Like, I kept hearing about Mr. Grimm. And I still don't know how he's not signed yet because he hasn't. He's a total package kind of guy. Who's the guy? You got the guy?
Yeah, I just got actually have the graphic up right now. It's Genesis versus Santos, Awesome, Gamble, and Diaz.
Gamble. That's the last one.
That was a weird one. I remember we're looking at it like Gamble doesn't fit into that squad, but okay. All Bronx heads, I get it. Fuck it. But back to Mr. Grimm, man. Like, Mr. Grimm was that guy, man, like 2.5 years ago. He was like almost a measuring stick for like us big guys. Because like our big guys were dying when I first hit the scene. That's why everybody got excited when I did hit the scene. Guy from Johnny's a big guy. He can move. He can work. Holy shit, we're going to have one. And Mr. Grimm was one of them. And I've wanted this match for a long time. I remember a year ago he was on Invictus as one of their main events. I've been watching him from afar, and now I cannot wait to go to war with Mr. Grimm. It's like, testing the metal, and it's Godzilla Kong just going right at each other. One of my favorite scenes in the Godzilla movie, in the Godzilla King of Monsters, when King Ghidorah comes out the snow cap and Godzilla comes out the water, and they just stand there and they're yelling at each other and smash each other in the face. That's a PJ Savage match. That's a PJ, and that's what you're gonna get with me, Mr. Grimm, man. Like, that's amazing, bro. That's amazing. Just saying. I'm just gonna put this out here. When I beat Mr. Grimm, no more fucking playing. September, I want Bougie.
That was gonna be my next question.
I'm gonna call Invictus headquarters and put in my rematch clause because I'm still deserve the rematch. And
considering there's a new authority figure coming,
whoever that is, me and him's gonna have a talk come Friday night. Because I don't know the exact date, but I think Invictus is back in the Bronx in September.
Yep, I think I know the date, but I don't know if I'm allowed to say it on the air because it's not made public.
Whatever the date is, because I don't know it. Whatever the date is, I want Bougie. Enough's enough. No more ducking. No more running. No more fighting all these guys coming in from other promotions. I mean, if he gets past Francisco Akira, and if he doesn't get past Francisco Akira, I want Francisco Akira in September, and then after I beat Akira, I'm gonna give Bougie the first shot. I want Bougie.
Now where do you have where are you facing off Akira?
No, I'm saying if Akira beats Bougie,
okay,
becomes champion on Friday night, then September's got to be me and Akira, and then after that, it's gonna be me and Bougie because I'm gonna beat Akira and I'm gonna give Bougie a shot.
But also before September, the following week, next week, you're gonna be in North Crackalacan. Face it off against quite possibly, mistake me if I'm wrong, I know either he's a second or third generation star. Second generation star in Colby Carino.
Yeah, man. Of course, I'm insanely excited. This is like true measuring stick moment for me. Again, I had Homicide a couple months ago. I think it was May 20th. I had Homicide back then. Now I got Colby Carino. The caliber is stepping up. I went from Dickinson to Shane Taylor to Homicide to Carino to a lot of these guys, a lot of big name opponents. And I'm showing I can hang. But the one thing that I don't have is that W. The W against a contracted guy. I don't have it yet. And I know Kobe's on NWA's contract. And it's time. It's time for me to take him out. It's time for me to take out one of those guys. And one of the things that does excite me about this matchup, it was the thing that excited me about wrestling Chavo Guerrero. It's no secret. I have a lot of kids. I have 2 girls and I got 2 boys, man. I got 4 kids. And each one of them want to wrestle. My oldest is 14, and she's already started to train. I have a 9-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 3-year-old. And all of them are just seeing their big sister starting, and they're like, well, nah, I got to do it. So I want to be able to leave that legacy of being the next Royal family. Like, I love Cody's theme song. There's more than one Royal family. There's the McMahons, the Rhodes, the Flairs, the Noyais, and I want the Savages right up there, man. Like, up there, next to the Guerreros, next to the Mysterios, next to all of those. So facing the Carino, it's special, man. Especially, like, I was a huge fan of Dusty. I studied Dusty. I studied Dusty's run in ECW. So I studied the King of Old School versus Dusty Rhodes. You know what I'm saying? Steve Carino, when he faced off, Steve Carino reminded me a lot of a younger CM Punk when he was doing everything Punk was doing, 10 years before Punk was doing it. And Carino was one of those guys, man, he was going to be in. And to be facing his son, who was on 205 Live, who got a shot at the big time, and is absolutely destroying the independent scene right now. He's up at Catalyst. He's in DPW. He's in every promotion that's worth something. He's in it. He's wrestled in it. He's held their championships. And he's the guy. And, of course, he's looked at as the next up at NWA. Like, they want to carry that legacy and give him that ride at NWA. And he might end up being the junior heavyweight championship in a couple months. But before that happens, I'm going to take his ass out. I'm going to swing around the ring like a rag doll.
And especially since before you came on, we had Kevin Nasta on talking a little bit more about the event in North Carolina and the amount of eyes that this event will have on, from legends to not only the fans, besides the fans, but also possibly as he even said, you don't know who's going to show up.
Yeah, no.
And especially when, a certain big promotion is doing an event an hour away from where you guys are.
Yeah, they're right there. I mean, Mark Henry's going to be there that night.
Exactly.
So it is always a lot of pressure, especially on a guy like me who, there's no secret, I'm eyeing contracts. I'm trying to get into the best shape of my life so I could be one of those guys that get a contract. I'm not going to reveal who just told me. But I did speak with a certain company, a big company, and got told that I got 6 to 8 months to lose the weight. And if I do, then I'm going to be right in line. If I don't, they're never going to look at me again. And so I'm excited to see what the future holds. I'm already down 15 pounds. And whether it be AEW, WWE, Impact, MLW, GCW, Japan's on my bucket list, and it's right there. It's right there. There's a lot of things on the horizon. I'm very excited for the next year. Cannot wait to see what it holds. But the only thing I can do as a professional wrestler, and I can't go into every match and go, oh, man, Mark Henry's in the crowd. AEW's in town. I'm facing Kobe Carino. Who knows what NWA person's going to be there watching. Who knows? Maybe Steve Corrigan's going to be there that night. Like, you just never know who's going to show up. It's North Carolina. It's a hotbed of professional wrestling. It's a place I always wanted to wrestle because I studied Dusty Rhodes and I studied Ric Flair. And the Carolinas, you always heard of how many times they wrestled in the Carolinas and had so many amazing matches in the Carolinas. So I'm excited to just step on the hollow ground of North Carolina and get to go to war with a guy like Kobe Carino. Like, that's fucking awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like, Flair faced Steamboat down there, man. Like, I get to lace my boots and go, all right, I'm in front of the Southern Tip crowd for the first time in my career. And you know what kind of wrestling they want to see. They don't want to see you put on a show and theatrics and be all entertaining. They want to see you have a wrestling match. Exactly. And I can go down there and have a wrestling match. And I'm excited, man. I'm very excited for that. And thank God I'm getting in shape because I know me and Kobe's going to fucking sweat up that ring. So it's going to be an amazing night, and it's going to be a tough, tough match to follow. I guarantee you that.
John?
Well, I was going to say, first of all, congratulations on the weight loss. I myself have lost quite a bit of weight recently, so I completely commend you for that. But maybe maybe after this match, we're not only calling it Flair Country, we're calling it Savage Country.
Oh man, I would love it, man. So I wouldn't even say Mark, man. Like, I admire Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes so much. I feel like what they did back in the 80s, especially like 86 and 87, the Flair for the gold and those Starcades, man. I still watch those to go to sleep. I'm just saying that right now. I'm probably going to end this and go watch Starcade 87 just to watch it, man. And that's the epitome of what this business is supposed to be and what this business is and what it was meant to be. Two fucking amazing pro wrestlers, two talkers, talking you into the seats and then delivering on their entrances, on the match, and on the finish. And you leave, you go home, and you want to come back next show, even if they're wrestling or not. It's like paying it forward and doing the next bid. Man, Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes is such a huge inspiration for me. Wrestling in North Carolina is definitely on the bucket list. Wrestling in North Carolina for me is like wrestling in Japan for a lot of these other guys. Like, these guys want to go to Japan. They want to go to Canada. They want to wrestle in all these territories. I want to wrestle in the Carolinas, man. I want to taste that. I want to go to NWA. NWA is a promotion I really, if they would throw an offer my way, I would strongly, strongly consider it, even if it was among some of the bigger companies, because I would love to just stand there in front of that NWA background, cut those promos. Eddie Kingston, I remember when NWA Power started back up, Eddie Kingston kind of drew me back in when he started NWA Power on YouTube. And it was like he had that same feel. He had that same feel with his promos. LA Knight at the time, Eli Drake, he was cutting some amazing promos during that time. And then you had Nick Aldis doing some great work on the mic. There's a lot of people. That's why I take pride in my promos, because those are the promos I studied. So just to be down there, if I could be associated with North Carolina, I was a little jealous of Kenny Omega when they started to hit the entrance going, not from North Carolina. Michael Jordan thing, just to be associated with that. That's big business, man. That's in this wrestling business. I don't care if wrestling was to go away and to be downgraded or not be as big as it ever was. If it was to go away and not have the hype that it has, wrestling would still be big as ever in New York City. Wrestling will still be big in the Southern Tip. Wrestling will still be big on the West Coast. Just because those places will never let wrestling die. And North Carolina is a part of that history. So I'm fucking excited, man. I'm excited to make it Savage Country. I'm keeping that. I'm keeping that.
All right.
Well, a possible T-shirt design too.
Oh shit! Maybe I'll head down there with that T-shirt. Who knows?
I'm trying to think of anything else off the top of my head. John, you got any more questions?
Well, I do have one, and I know this wasn't brought up at all. I know Ryan, when he brought you in, always made the comment about you yelling your name. Is there a reason behind it? I'm just sheer curiosity.
So yeah, there is a story behind that, actually, a really good one. So I was at Johnny Rod's training and cutting promos and doing all that stuff, but he wouldn't let me yell. He wouldn't let no one yell. He wouldn't let you could raise your voice in an intense way, but he would not let you yell. It's almost like, I don't know, it was a teaching thing or something. He wanted to handcuff you, or maybe he just knew I wanted to yell and he just didn't let me. And so I like suppressed that for a long, long time, for 4 years just suppressed it. And I head out after the pandemic hit. Gleason's wasn't really opening, and I decided to hit the indies, and I started training with John Patrick Trotsky, the head supreme, the head man over at Sanctuary, angry wrestling vet. That man's a genius. I don't care how much heat that man could get. That man, there's something in that man's mind that works at 200 miles per hour, and he's one of the smartest men I've ever been around in his business. And he's actually one of the people that's behind the whole PJ Savage persona. And we was cutting promos one day, and he was just drilling into me. He was like, why the fuck aren't you yelling? You say Savage, you try to say it quiet like you're Jake the Snake. You're not Jake the Snake. You're fucking Savage. You yell. When you say your name, you fucking yell your name. And I cut a promo, and I remember the line was "I am," and I had to say Savage how I needed to say it to him, and I said it so many fucking times, and each time it got louder and louder and louder, and then it ended up evolving into something that I threw into my entrance, and then it became a rib during some promos where guys would turn their head in the interview, who would turn his head, and I would just yell Savage in his ear. Promo. So like it just stuck, man. It just stuck. But John Patrick Trotsky is the reason behind the whole logo, behind Savage, and behind me yelling so damn much. So you could blame Trotsky for that one.
Ryan?
It's not really a question. It's kind of a memory since you mentioned yelling randomly and yelling randomly. I remember, God, it was in the locker room after an Invictus show. I think this was right when you were still a part of Takeover, and you guys did that, that Takeover special.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It was Rosado, wasn't it?
Pete Rosado, about being like the special guest, general manager or commissioner or whatever it was, and then you give him the shirt, and then you're sitting there saying, thinking about it, thinking of which side you're on. As he opens up the shirt, all of a sudden he stand up, and you just go, "Savage!"
That was
almost dying in the locker room.
That was the first time I did that, and now after that time, I kept doing it in interviews. I would do interviews with Rob Williams and Samira and whoever else was interviewing. I would just do that in the air after the interviews. It'd be funny as hell. And it got to a point where I stopped doing it because they were expecting it. They would do the interview and they would hold it, and it was just. And I wouldn't say it. I would just walk away. I got you. You put over my gimmick. I don't even need to say it. I can just walk away at this point.
I mean, you could. I mean, while they're talking, you could have easily snuck in and just, did it. But that's.
I've done a couple where I've gone off the screen, come back, and yelled Savage. I've done a couple of those.
That's what I remember exactly because again, I was fucking dying. I was trying so hard not to laugh on camera.
It's good shit, man. It's good shit.
But I know that when you walked out of the camera frame, you were literally on the floor dying.
That was good shit. The worst one was probably to Rob Williams. We was doing one for Pro Wrestling Magic, and I yelled Savage in his ear probably like 6 or 7 times in one interview. And each one just got louder and louder and louder, and I kept scaring the shit out of him. It was pretty fucking funny though.
Oh God. and also this past Saturday, when your co-host Papa Dank.
Shout out Papa Dank.
Beyond the barricade.
Yeah, that's my podcast.
I kind of imitated you a little bit because he fucked up Pete Rosado's name, called him Pete Rosario.
That sounds like a Papa Dank fuck up. Oh God!
And when he said that, I turned around and I said, "Wait, Ahmed Rosario's coming here? Where is he?"
Oh, let's not bring up the Mets now.
Yeah,
Mets or the Yankees. Let's keep that shit to the side.
But I pulled off my inner Savage by going Pete Rosado. I said it like 3 or 4 times. John can attest because he was behind the camera.
Oh man,
I was trying so hard not to laugh, especially when he kept looking at me going, I'm the co-host, and looked right at me.
Oh shit, man. Nah, that's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. I love Papa Dank. Shout out Beyond the Barricade. He's a great podcast. He's a great dude. He always comes out to shows, always supports, always pushes, just like you guys, man. He's just like you guys.
No, he's an awesome dude, and I'm trying to think of anything else off the top of my head actually, because I see you so fucking constantly. Like I always forget. I always have nothing to say.
Guaranteed, you're gonna be quiet now, and then all of a sudden you're gonna see me. Forgot to ask you this.
Yep, exactly. That's usually how it is in life.
Yeah, that's exactly what's gonna happen.
Well, PJ, all I know is this. Definitely want to have you on again because we can really probably have you on for 2 hours if we wanted to. But
100%.
Oh, yeah.
I'm one of those guys. I'll talk forever too.
I would definitely want to have you back on because there's a few other things I definitely want to get into, especially the match you had when the takeover, as I call it, the bloodbath on Bergen Avenue, the one that ended up spilling onto Bergen Avenue.
Takeover versus
Goons.
Goons. Yeah. Takeover Goons. I got suplexed on the lawn that day.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that the Around the Rose podcast, we're starting a new series called Shoot Interviews With.
Hey, I'm game, but PJ, I appreciate you being on tonight. It means
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot. Definitely want to have you back on again. Even though I know you're afraid of Ryan. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
A little bit.
I mean, to be fair, he didn't even know I was a co-host. All right.
That's a shoot.
That's a shoot.
I'm
That's a
sitting there.
shoot.
You're going. I was scheduled to be on the podcast twice, 2 mishaps, and then all of a sudden, I see you there. We're talking, and then Ryan goes, "Yeah, you don't want to come on the podcast with us?" I'm like, "Huh? You're on the podcast?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm on the podcast." I'm like, "Well, shit. Guess I got to do it now."
Well, because the funny thing is, we had seen you everywhere else, and we're like, okay, let's try to get PJ on our show. Let's try to get PJ on our show.
Yeah, I'm a podcast guy. This is a once in.
That was the running joke of, is Savage afraid of it because of me? Like, what the fuck?
No, yeah, and I think I got 2 more podcasts this week. I'm all over. I'm always on a podcast, always promoting. So like, it's not like me to miss a podcast, and I haven't missed a podcast in so long, and it was only with you guys. So I guess it is Ryan's fault. It is Ryan's fault.
I mean, technically, just remember, John, I'm the team.
It's got a cool little picture. I think is that Mickey Mantle or Roger Maris in the back of your wall. Other side.
Yeah. Oh, on this side it's Mantle right over here.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite players, man. One of my favorite players.
Oh yeah, I got a lot of. It's actually funny. You met. I know you're a big Yankee fan. Wrap up right after this. In the corner, I'll take a picture, but I'll send it to you. We have an original chair from Yankee Stadium. Not from when they redid it in '73.
No, the 08 one?
No, the original.
The original. Holy shit.
Original.
You got to send me pictures of that.
Oh, I will.
See this.
I know that thing weighs a freaking ton.
Before we go, my dream in professional wrestling, like my ultimate dream, is to either win the WWE Championship at Yankee Stadium or walk into Yankee Stadium with the WWE Championship to have a show. And there's that blue sign in the walkway before you hit the Yankee dugout that says, "I'm great. It's always great. I'm always grateful to be a Yankee." I want to smack that sign with the WWE Championship. That is my ultimate goal in this business. I do that. Fucking, I'm hanging it up, brothers. I'm done. I'm done. That's any better than that for me.
You might do better than the Yankees are doing right now, but we're gonna wrap this up right now. PJ, promote what you got coming up. Promote anything social media stuff, and then we'll wrap up the show.
Yeah, man. Check out everything I'm doing. Hit me up on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, Twitter, at PJ Savage, on everything. I think some of them might be at PJ effing Savage. That's the TikTok. And then PJ at PJ Savage _ that's the Instagram. ProWrestlingTees.com/PJ Savage. New merch is dropping on Friday, so go check that out. I got, of course, we outside at Invictus Pro Wrestling. PJ Savage versus Mr. Grimm, first time ever. Savage versus Hitman. So that one's gonna be intense. I got Colby Carino, North Carolina, Titan Championship Wrestling. Check out Intense Wrestling Alliance, IWA. Got me versus Jacko, and on August 26th for the IWA Heavyweight Championship. There's so much shit I got coming up, man. I'm constantly in the grind, brothers. Just follow me. You want to see where I'm at, and kids don't pay for shit with me. So if you know any kids, we bring them to the shows and stuff. They get free 8x10s, free stickers, and whatever else I have in the merch bag. So, man, just check me out. Follow me. Hit me up on all socials. Let's have some fun. Stay savage.
And best way to put it, you can catch Ryan. Obviously, like we said, you can catch PJ this Friday at Invictus at We Outside. You can catch Ryan this Friday at We Are Outside.
No, we are going to be outside.
We are going to be outside.
Okay. We are going to be outside where Ryan Peterson will be there.
Oh, and funny thing, I was talking to Alex about this yesterday. He wants to set it up where apparently I come out in a regular suit and tie for the pre-show, and a couple of the Bronx boys pulls me out in the back. And then I come out with a complete 180 attire coming in.
I got some Yankee credits here that I just got hung up. We got to get you some Timbs, get your 8-ball jacket. Yeah, we got to get you Timbs,
the Yankee jersey, the hat size, like completely just come.
Yeah, I got it. I got you, brother. Who you want? You want Judge? You want Giancarlo's? I got a bunch of jerseys over in the closet. Whatever. I'll bring the jersey. I'll bring the Yankee fit. I don't know what size Timbs you wear. I don't know.
Now you can leave the Timbs, but the jersey part, okay.
We'll see about. I might actually pull out the jersey for the entrance. I might actually pull out one of them jerseys. Always a Yankee proud moment.
Bring a spare for me just in case. All right.
Got it.
For everybody here, I'm John. You can catch us next Tuesday. We'll have your recap from SummerSlam. We'll get you guys ready for Immortal Championship Wrestling as well. And who knows what else we're going to have coming up because we're always busy here on the Around the Ropes podcast. But for everybody here, appreciate you guys watching us tonight. I'll catch you guys next time.
Have it!